Hello, everybody, and I forgot how to spell forest.
We are live. Hello. Why am I stuck? That's all right. I'm frozen. It'll pop on in a minute. There we go. Now I can see everything. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Is it
Happy
happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Um, I'm going to redo some openings for the countdown and stuff like that. I couldn't remember what program I used, and it was up on the thing, so I have to go and check that one out again. I was looking through, and for some reason, I'm going to have Tommy help me with the whole download thing from YouTube because for some reason it wants to charge me every time I want to download something. So we're not going to do that. So I got to figure out how Tommy does it and how that all works. But anyway, hello, Joe, everybody. Welcome, welcome. You're kind of rambling this evening, but
Well, we also started at a different time, but that's
we
okay.
did. We did. I did actually have a
Robbie's in the
doctor's
house.
appointment.
Hello.
Hey,
Happy Tuesday.
Robbie, what's up? Happy Tuesday. I actually had a doctor's appointment this afternoon that I actually had to reschedule for Thursday afternoon because we ended up with nasty weather. We had nasty, crazy, icky, wet, snowy, rain, slush, slick roads, you
Have
name
you
it.
had any hail or no hail?
We had hail.
You did.
Yeah,
See,
it
he's
started,
chilling. The sun is out.
yesterday. It started yesterday afternoon, I think it was. And so, the sun, my worst enemy. No,
It's
chilling in
out
sun.
there.
That's cool. I'm glad you have sun. That's awesome. Um, yeah,
We are going to get hail though, but we have
well,
sun now.
it was weird. Like our weather since yesterday afternoon has been really weird. So we ended up with like the little hail, like really tiny pieces of hail with fat ass snowflakes. Like
Wow.
it looked like blobs floating around in the sky, coming down, and then it had the hail pieces, and it wasn't right. Like it did not look right at all. And then
It's
this
it's
morning,
it's not
um,
right because we're preparing for next week, but we'll get into that on Thursday.
we had slushy rain yesterday. Yeah, see, and it switched into the slush nasty stuff. And then this morning it was snowing and it's very heavy. I mean, like sloppy wet.
So you know something?
Snow.
It's good that you stayed home. You relaxed. You're not
Yeah.
no stress, no nothing.
Yeah,
And
I
then
fell
he's in the
asleep.
house. Hello, Valerie. See, she still has rain as well.
Yeah, see, and earlier we tried to go live and some stuff was not working right. And I couldn't get my printer to work, nothing like that. And so we ended up having it end early on Tommy's channel. Robbie says, I love spring and summer. I love warmth. So we went to Vegas a few years ago, and well, more than a few years ago, because 5 years this year of my spleen. It was a couple years before my spleen. It's like 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. Let me tell you, it was a dry heat, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Um, hello,
Hello. Okay.
hello, Miss Valerie. Um,
Finding
hello.
it.
Yep, finding your balance. Hello, hello. And there is the
Tommy's in
man.
the house.
It's the Tommy.
We're not starting with this, okay? Oh my god, my cats already are starting in.
Oh,
Sometimes,
that's because they want to be all in here too.
yes, they want to be part of the show.
It's
They
okay.
always
They
want to
can
be
be a
part of
part
the
of the show. I honestly think I just saw Gabby, but I don't know if that was her. If I'm just seeing stuff.
Hello,
Sometimes that
JRKR.
happens.
Welcome to the show. Jen's in the house.
JRKR, Miss Jen in the house. Welcome,
Come here.
welcome.
Go to the back of the chair. Go stay there. Have fun.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Gabby to come in here. Usually she shows up. I thought I
She's
just saw her
adorable.
running, but
I got the other cat on the side over here, so
They've been around you like crazy.
Or they are. They're my
They love
babies.
their mama.
I can't help it. They sleep with me. They snuggle with me. They're there. See, even Karis has slushy weather today.
Yeah. So, did it, Jen? Did you have yesterday the big old fat, humongous snowflakes, and then the little pieces of hail that came with it? Like it didn't look right because she's in our area. So, Robbie says, "Hi, kitties," and he says, "Oh, so cute." And then Finding Your Balance says breezy and cool in Dallas.
Oh, you're in Dallas, Bella? I'm in Wichita Falls. It was bad yesterday in Dallas with the hail. I think there was even a tornado the other day. They said it may have touched down.
Oh, jeepers. So Jen says, yes,
I'm telling you,
had that weather.
They're preparing for Monday. Monday is the day. This is a countdown to Monday.
I have to drive in that stuff. I got to be at my mom's house at 11 a.m. to take her to her doctor's appointment. And yeah, I'm a little nervous now. Finding Your Brown says, I know, Melanie.
I'm sorry. I'm sharing in the fact that you guys had hail and the tornado and it was bad and we're supposed to be getting more hail and all that stuff. But it actually is sunny right now. Well, sun's going down, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we had somebody in Tommy's chat earlier that said that they're getting the weather that we have today. They're getting it tomorrow. So
Robbie wants to storm chase.
That's Tommy's thing. I'll tell you guys a story here in a second.
Tornadoes. No.
Yeah, Jen says we had better weather in February. Yes, we did. For the first time in 44 years, I actually had I shouldn't say 44 years because that just aged me badly. 34 years where I actually had a warm birthday.
Aw.
So
no snow?
I was happy about. No, we didn't have snow. Actually, I think we were outside in just sweatshirts around my birthday in February. So, okay. Robbie says tornadoes are so cool. I want to. Yeah, that's Tommy's thing. During the summertime here, I think it was like two summers ago. I'll see if I can find the video, but we had some tornadoes that touched down in our area, and I believe if we still have the videos, our son actually caught 3 tornadoes in a row.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and by the time we were able to stop, so I don't know how much he caught beforehand. When we first saw them, there was 3 of them, and they were in a row. They weren't. I don't remember what they're called. They're like sister tornadoes or something like that. However, we saw them. So Tommy, went to go park in a nice open area so we could get them. By the time we parked, one head was almost completely gone. There was a second one that was going up, and then the third one you could still see. Now I don't know how much Joey got on that video because we never really downloaded any of the videos from the cameras. So I'll have to see if we can do that and see how much he got. But yeah, it was a trip. It took out one of our hospitals, one of our hospitals in Boston. Yeah, it took and damaged that up really bad, and it was.
That's one of my greatest fears because I do not like storms. I do not like thunder and lightning. I certainly do not like tornadoes, and I've seen a couple of tornadoes in my life. I don't want to see any more tornadoes. I want to be far away from them.
Then you definitely wouldn't like hurricanes.
No, I've been in hurricanes as well. I don't want to be in hurricanes either.
In 90, was it 98 or 99? I can't remember which year it was. 1998 or 1999. I can't remember what year it was. I was trying to think. But there was a huge hurricane in Florida, and I was actually on a highway where we were driving down the highway or the interstate. I don't remember which one, but it was really close to where you could see the ocean, and you could see that hurricane in the background or way out. And I thought that was pretty cool. But we were gone by the time it landed.
I've been through Gloria, through Sandy, through Ida, through. I'm done with hurricanes. I don't want to be. Yes, and I've seen too many destructions from it.
People in Florida have hurricane parties.
Yeah, they have every year. I mean, they're used to it, but it's
my brother, my one brother Ryan, a couple years ago, he went live on Facebook during a hurricane. Live.
Just go out and you know what it is? It's like the Midwest with tornadoes. Everybody runs from them. They're outside trying to chase the tornadoes and all that other stuff.
It's usually the people that are scared of them who are not from the area or people like me. I'm good.
I don't like tornadoes. No.
I'll go look at the destruction afterwards. I don't want to be in the middle of the destruction. Tommy, was it last summer that we had all the storm chasers in our area? We had like 20 or 30 different storm chasers from all around the United States in our area because of, and I think it was last summer. But it could have been the summer before. I don't remember which summer it was. So, Tommy, if you remember, let me know. But I think it was last summer, and we had some wicked weather. But we had like 20 or 30 different storm chasers from around the United States in our area, and they were live on YouTube. We actually watched one of them live, and his truck got totaled.
Oh.
And the thing is storm chasers, they can't get insurance on their vehicles because of what they do. And so they have to pay out of pocket for any damages that happens to their vehicle that they use storm chasing. Now, I didn't know that until we watched that one particular YouTuber live in our area, and we're like, oh, we know where that is. We've been through there. We know where that is.
And you're seeing like tornadoes and see Finding Balance says give me stores over 110 degrees heat any day. Absolutely. It gets way too hot here in Texas. It's too hot.
Here we go. I'm from south of Austin, but currently in Dallas. Storms are fun. Jen's with me. Nah, I'm good with no storms. we will. Okay, so where we live, right across the street, they built a couple years ago. They built the new fire department, and depending on how bad the storm is, will depend on if we go outside and stand. Well, I want to say it was like maybe it was last year, the beginning of last year when the storm started. This is a different storm than when the storm chasers showed up, okay? And Tommy and Jaslyn were on the corner, and I walked outside, and I was standing there, and one of the firemen that was at the fire department came outside. So he was on one side of the road. We were on the other side of the road, watching the sky, seeing if anything was going to break bad. Another time with our storms here, the power went out, and most of the time our power doesn't go out, but this was one of the few times that our power did go out, and I opened the back door to look, and I was like, well, I hope Brock is gonna be okay. And now I don't remember if that's when Jaslyn ran out and got her and brought her into the basement with all the other animals that we have.
Wait, who's Brock? You said Brock?
The duck.
Oh, that's the duck. Okay, I met Brock. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know who Brock was.
But I remember going back up and down the stairs, looking out the door. I shut the door, and then I opened it again. And as I opened it up and we're standing there, the tree literally bent and touched our back screen door. That's in towards the back of our house or back of our yard.
It might have been like a wind burst or a tornado that maybe wasn't documented or.
And all I know is that it's Tommy and Jaslyn's thing, and they love storms. They love it. They absolutely love it.
I mean, you're lucky that the tree didn't actually fall into the house, that it just fell just behind it, but still.
No, it didn't even fall. It just bent.
Oh, okay. It did not root or anything like that?
Nothing happened to the tree. It just
Wow.
bent, touched the back screen door, and then went back up. Like nothing happened.
That's amazing. You're lucky, and the tree survived.
Yep. That tree is such a pain in the booty.
It's trying to tell you something. It's like it's a strong tree.
Oh yeah, and it's a is it a silver maple? It's the maple that turns red. I think it's the silver maple. And so she's still pretty young in her age compared to the other trees in our yard and in our neighborhood. So yeah, it's okay. And this is the one that you read, Finding Your Balance. Give me some storms over 110 degrees heat day. Yeah. I would like to neither. Thank you. Scary. Yeah, it was scary. I do not do like what certain storms give me severe anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Severe anxiety. Yet I have been on the outskirts of hurricanes. I've seen hurricanes, and tornadoes scare me more than a hurricane.
Yeah, I agree. Tornadoes for me are the scariest things because I have constant nightmares about tornadoes, and also being in like a thunder and lightning, like intense lightning storm and thunder. Yeah. I can't take.
I saw powder, and I also saw phenomena.
those are good movies.
Yeah, we don't get 110 degrees weather.
You're lucky. It's going to be 110 degrees straight through the entire summer in Texas. Like the whole summer is going to be 110. It doesn't get any warmer. Like it doesn't get any cooler. It stays at 110.
So, but is it a dry heat or is it humidity heat?
It's mostly dry, but it depends on the area. Like where I am is a very clay, muddy area. So it's disgusting. Like the water is brown. It's old.
Well, no, what I mean is, okay, so like in Vegas, they have
It's not as dry as Vegas. Like your sweat will evaporate, but there's still humidity here in Texas.
Okay, so here in Wisconsin, we have very high levels of humidity.
Right. It can be like 80 degrees and you can be sweating. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's I don't like summer here. But it's almost the same as in Florida. Florida has a very high humidity level as well. When I was in Florida, 2018? 2017? Anyway, a couple years before, as well as before my spleen, my Nana was in hospice and I flew down there, and as soon as I got on the plane and the plane was up in the air, a snowstorm hit here because it was November. A snowstorm hit here hardcore. And then when I landed in Florida, in Miami, my brother called me. He's like, "Did you land yet?" I'm like, "Yep, I have my luggage. Where do I meet you?" He told me to go meet him at the certain door. So I went, and as soon as I stepped out of the airport, it felt like I hit a brick wall of nothing but like I couldn't breathe. It was so thick and heavy and hot. And I get in the car, and I left Wisconsin in a hoodie and jeans, and I had my winter coat, or no, I left my winter coat here. That's right. But I still had layers on because, well, it was a winter snowstorm when I left. Got to Florida. It was super, super hot. Yep. And my cousin actually, I didn't have any clothes. Florida clothes is what we called it. I didn't have any of that because, well, I don't live in Florida anymore.
That's what happens to my mom every time she travels here, because it's so hot here that when she goes back to New York, it's so cold over there. So she has to like bring two types of outfits just to go back.
Yeah, my cousin, thank God my cousin didn't live that far away because she ended up running home, grabbing some Florida clothes, and I had to change. I was cherry red. Like I was so red from the heat that I thought I was going to have heat stroke. And so I had to go and into the bathroom and cool off, cool water and everything. And then next thing you know, I'm just like, I use my inhaler more than I ever have in a long time. Jared says, I couldn't live in Texas. Too hot.
Yeah.
Miss Valerie says, I'm always cold. I think that's a northern thing because I'm always cold also. Hello, Miss Sharon. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. How you doing? All right, so real quick before I forget, I want to put up the quote of the week. I do apologize for last week. I was at the dentist and I had to take my medication to go see the dentist, and I was feeling like crap afterwards, so I was not able to do a mental health live last week. So we are here today, and let me, of course, my quote of the day had to go woof up. So, all right. So our quote for this week, for our positive quote for this week is, there is hope, even when your brain tells you there isn't. John Green.
I love that one. When she told me that one, I'm like, yeah, use that quote. Please use that quote because that's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. And it is very, very true. Neither one of us are professionals when it comes to mental health. We're just sharing what we go through on a daily basis. That is our disclaimer. You have questions you want to share. If you want to, let me pull up this. I forgot to.
She's not over here.
We have our emails up. So if you need to reach out and talk to somebody, we are here. We can, help you do whatever. If you just need an ear to listen, that's what we're here for. That is what we do. Because we know what it's like to have struggles, we're opening that door so that you guys have a safe place to talk. If you're not comfortable talking with me, reach out to Melanie. If you're not comfortable talking to Melanie, reach out to me. Or find somebody in chat that you're comfortable. This is a safe place for everybody. Michelle,
and any topics can go in the chat as well. If you have something you want to talk about and you want to openly discuss it, go for it.
Yep, it's an open forum. If you are just needing to share, you are more than welcome to do that. Miss Sharon says, I am okay. Long time. Glad you're back. Yeah, it's been a long time. I started back up at the beginning of February. So
and we're glad you're back. And I feel honored that she allowed me to come along and do the show with her as well.
Yeah, and anybody who would like to come up on the panel and share, or if you have some good advice, just let me know and we can set up a time for you to come join us. I do actually want to reach out to one person that used to do the show with me, Heather. I want to see if she wants to come on and talk about things that she's been through as well, since we stopped doing the mental health stuff together. But I do want to do that. Heather, if you're watching, I need to talk to you.
I think what's funny is you see every now and then my kitty cats either jump up or running in the background. I just want to say one of my cats, her name is Hope. So that's why when I saw this quote, because I specifically named my kitty Hope as a reminder to have hope in my life. So I just thought that was cute. That's why when she says there's hope, I'm like, yeah, use this quote, please.
Yeah, we will, pick different quotes every week or every time we're live.
Every one of your quotes is a great quote.
I try to pick when I'm going through the positive quotes, um, I kind of go on what my gut is telling me to do for that week. And so, and that's how I pick them.
Mhm.
Is, oh, that one's speaking, this one somebody needs, um, stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm happy.
That's a
Um,
good thing. And you're smiling.
yes. Oh, in May, I do want to give everybody a heads up. In May, I have to go back to the dentist. Um, and so from May and June, I'll have a couple shows, but I'm having dental work done, and so I
We
will
might
not.
have to cancel a couple. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
So
a problem.
or it'll
It's
be where will be on, and I just still have the screen off. I want to give everybody the heads up, um, because I'm with the dental work that I'm having. I don't really want to be on camera until after it's all done.
we'll see what happens, especially with the Thursdays, because we haven't really opened up June yet. So depending on how you're feeling, I have no problem with rescheduling or you know my schedule is just as flexible as yours. So anytime you
Yeah,
need it,
yeah. So and I'm gonna try my hardest to do this during May and June. Um, but with the type of dental work I'm having, it may just be my picture on the screen, no camera, and then you
aw.
hear my voice. So, um, and that's because of me. So, um,
Well, it's not only that. Dental work in itself is very invasive and painful. I mean, one small infection affects everything instantly. And that's one of
yeah,
the reasons why I always say to people whenever they're like, "Oh, I have an abscess, I'm like, "Go get it checked out because I've had so much problems with my teeth with abscesses and stuff that
yeah.
it's like if you don't get it checked out, it's going to get worse and cause many problems."
And I had to be extra careful because I don't have a spleen. And so I actually have to take antibiotics before any type of procedure, any type of surgical procedure. So um, I just, yeah. So I'm going to be a mess, but I will be here as best I can in May
Oh,
and
I
June.
feel so bad.
I
No,
will do my
I
best.
dread if anything happens with my wisdom tooth because I had problems with all four wisdom teeth.
Oh,
But the final one is the one on the right hand side. It's still embedded. They
oh,
put me under, they were supposed to take it out during surgery. They flat out said that it's so entwined in my nerve cluster that if they remove it, my whole jaw will go numb. I'll go paralyzed in my jaw. So
oh.
they left it in there, but they cleaned it up and squared it off while it was like inside, so it's not so bad. So it's like I don't want any, and I had so many problems with my teeth.
Oh, I'm sure. That's
Oh,
crazy.
dear,
How many
Karen,
people?
have a good
Oh,
night.
yep. Thanks, Jen, for stopping by. She's like, you talked about the dentist. I'm out.
I'm sorry, we didn't mean to bring.
But people who have depression, anxiety, and stuff like that, the dentist is a really big trigger. It really is. And I know, like for me personally, um, hands in my face that are not my own, it's a trigger for me. And so I actually have to take diazepam, aka Valium, before my appointments. So, and that was just for him to be able to look at what was going on with my teeth. And otherwise, it was just like, yeah, I can't. And it took a while um, for me to get myself to even go to the dentist. And then Tommy was like, he's like, Dusty. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm tired of stir fry.
Because you're
I'm like,
cooking everything soft. You have to cook
yeah, I
it
have
so.
to only eat stuff that's soft. And, it's really sad. But in the end, after everything's said and done, everything's, like all my dental stuff is done, I think it'll be a lot better. And I don't think
But
my
yes,
anxiety will be.
I wonder. This is a question I have: is why of all the doctors, the dentist seems to be the worst out of all of them?
Because
I mean,
they put needles in your mouth. They're messing with like your teeth and your
yeah,
gums,
but
and
you could
they're
go to
very
any
close
doctor.
to your brain.
I mean, okay, I almost want to say dentist is like the number one triggering doctor, then the OBGYN, and then like maybe you're just regular doctor or whatever. But it's like, I know there are horror movies out there about crazy dentists and stuff like that. There's also funny ones. I think of Little Shop of Horrors with the whole dental scene where he's singing with Steve Martin. You don't remember that one?
Oh, is that
Steve
the
Martin.
one with Sydney Seymour?
Yes, that's Little Shop of Horrors, but Steve
Okay.
Martin played the dentist role, and it's really funny because he tells the whole story about how he was like sadistic to animals as a kid. So his mom says that you should go be a dentist. So now that's what he does in the future because he likes to torture people. Like that's part of the whole musical. But I mean, like that's a funny representation of a dentist. Most of the time, horror movies show dentists to be like cracking teeth and it makes it a very, very scary thing.
It does, and I know that for a while, dentists, the profession for dentists, um, was a high rate of unaliving themselves because people were so terrified of dentists. It was like it was like number one profession that
Oh.
happened in. And I don't know what it is now, but I know for a long time that was the thing. And so Miss Valerie says,
I think that's a good.
the doctor is in your personal space, which causes anxiety. Yes, the
So-
bubble. I have a bubble. Leave my bubble alone.
okay, not to be triggering, but they make it scary. They have the light in your face. They have the gloves on with their mask on. They're right up there. They're putting their hands in your mouth. And it's like, I mean, for me, it always was that little hook thing that they would scrape. Hated that. Oh, I'm sorry.
My mouth was like instantly like, no, we're done. We're good.
You tell that's the thing. That's the thing for me. I shouldn't be talking about this because both of us are getting like the. But that is the thing that drives me crazy because I always tell them don't even bother using that hook. Like.
But the thing is, okay, so like
I'm getting like,
I think okay, so here's the thing. For me, I think if you have great teeth, your teeth, you have very healthy teeth. I honestly believe that going to the dentist is not a scary thing.
I agree. True. Yeah.
My whole life I've struggled with my teeth. My teeth have always been sensitive.
So when you go, they're going to be doing this.
Yes. But I didn't have to start taking any type of medication until after the whole thing with the abuse that I went through. So there is a difference. I mean, the hands in the face, and that's my main thing when it comes to doctors. And I don't care what kind of doctor it is. You start moving around with your hands in my face, and I have a complete humongous anxiety attack.
Now here's just a personal question, and you don't have to answer it. Do you think blindfolding yourself will help?
No.
Okay. I was curious because for some people, not being, because you said seeing hands in the face, I was just wondering. But for other people, blindfolds are one of the scariest things because you're losing control of your sight. So I was just curious if that would help you or hinder you. And
yeah, I think it probably would make it worse and then just knowing mentally, just knowing where I'm at, and I know what their job is entailing. I think it It
Because I'm thinking
definitely
of
did not make it
those like
better.
sleep masks that you wear like on the plane or something like that, or the train, just to block out like sound and light and whatever.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, I think it would be worse.
Okay.
I really do. Um, but and that's my personal experience when it comes to that. You know, I I mean, we were talking a couple weeks ago about the dentist and calling and stuff like that, and that was my hinder is, well, he's going to be in my face, and I don't know how to deal with that. I do not know how to process somebody putting their hands in my face for a good reason, because it's always been a bad reason in the past, if that makes any sense.
So that's one of those reasons, yeah, to take
Mhm.
your Valium beforehand to try to calm
Right.
down. Maybe bring I don't know, music that you could listen to or something that you could focus on. Plug yourself in. I don't know if that'll help or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't, well, when they worked on my top, the dentist that I have I is a male, okay? Which is unusual because I do not do well with men doctors. Um, but this male dentist is absolutely phenomenal.
That's good. That you
Absolutely
trust him,
phenomenal.
and yeah,
I would recommend him to anybody for the simple fact that, so Tommy saw him, and I needed dental work really bad, but because of my anxiety, I couldn't go. It was really hard for me. So Tommy talked to him, and so he already had a heads up on my situation, and he told Tommy, have her call, set up an appointment with me, and I did, and went in, and there was no judgment, because a lot of times you go to a doctor and you have to do this or this before you go into the doctor. You get judged, you know and there was absolutely no judgment. He was gentle. He made sure that when he was working in my mouth, um he was, thank God I don't have very good peripheral vision, because he made sure that his hands were not in my line of sight when he would go to work in my mouth on my teeth. And
that's
so, yeah, and I had a female who I thought, okay, it's a female dentist. Um, I'll be good because it's a female. Told her, I have anxiety, this and that. I took my anxiety med before coming in, and coldest person I have ever met. She shoved her hands in my face so fast, I couldn't see her. And that was a woman who was like, "I understand, da 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 da," and no.
it's interesting. You make a good point. I mean, I know we're talking about dentists, but in general, and I know you said you're opposite. I find it easier to be treated by male doctors than I do female doctors, because I feel that female doctors are so much more judgmental, cold, and they give an attitude. And I know that makes no sense. I mean, that's just my personal experience. But it's like when I have a male doctor, I've never had a problem, like a serious problem with them. But I
Yeah, see,
always have a problem. Yeah.
and for me, it's because of the situation in my past, the stuff that I went through in my past. It's really hard for me to be around a man that I either don't know. Um, Usually it's, Tommy, you're coming with me. I am to see this person. You're coming in with me, because I don't feel safe around male doctors. I don't feel safe around men that I don't know. Um, and so because of what I went through, um, and so my primary doctor is a female, and let me tell you, I love that woman to death. She knows everything. She's just a rock star. Just like my dentist, he's a rock star. It's not his fault that I go through what I go through, but um, he's also more caring. Where when I went to a female, I swear she was like, whatever, very judgy, very, well, maybe you should take care of your teeth. And I'm like, yeah,
What do you think I'm here? Like,
didn't we just discuss what was going on and what is happening? Really? You're gonna be
and
like
and you know what's funny? I don't want to talk bad about my primary care. I actually really do like my primary care. It is a female. She's a new doctor for me. She's the type that will give me every single test that I either ask for, or every test that they'll to try to determine what's wrong with me, like what the problem is. And it's really, I mean, I have to say that's impressive, because I've been wanting something like this for the longest time, because my previous doctor, just every time I had a problem, ignored the hell out of me. It's like, yeah, it's all in your head, it's all in your head. Now it's like, okay,
I've heard that before.
yeah,
it's like, no crap, that's why we're here.
But I mean, she has been thorough on everything. She'll be like, okay, I want you to take this blood test. I want you to take this sleep study. I want you to go and take a what do you call it? Allergy test. And I mean, these are all the things, because she's checking off, all right, this is not the cause, this is not the cause. And I have to say that she's doing her due diligence. I mean, I'm actually really impressed by it, because this is the first time I have a doctor that's actually caring. But normally I find that female doctors, I mean, she right now is the exception in my life.
Yeah, see, and I've had one male primary doctor that actually I actually liked, and I think it was because when he came into the room, he reminded me of one of my best friends in high school that passed away in a car accident.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I froze for a minute and then said his name, and he was like, no. And I told him, I said, well, just so you know, I am not comfortable with male doctors. I said, but when you walked in, you had the aura of, his name was Pablo, and he passed away in high school. And I said, you have his aura, and I'm very comfortable with you. He sat with me for 3 hours going through my medical records to figure out what the hell was going on.
That's great. That is good.
I pass kidney stones daily. Most of the time, they're very little, no big deal, not a big deal. Some of them end up landing me in the hospital. And at this point, I had just gotten out of the hospital because of kidney stones. And he explained to me that it's because I have cysts in my kidneys, and the cyst was what was causing the kidney stones, because the cyst was taking up about 95% of my kidney. So it was causing it not to drain properly and building up the kidney stones. Oh yeah. I mean, I had no flipping clue. I was just told this, and this, and this procedure was done.
He gave you an exact answer. Like, that's, yep. And it probably, I mean, whether they can fix it or not is another story, but at least it gives you peace of mind. You know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, so now it's like, I pass kidney stones every day, Whoopi,
That's painful, though. You get used to the pain.
Some of them are, yeah. Some of them are, but most of the time they're so tiny that I'm just used to it.
Valerie just said something there. She says, my new female doctor is doing the same thing. Give me all the tests and I appreciate it. See, that's good.
Yeah, and that, I think that's what, I mean, okay, so this is for everybody in chat, and anybody who watches this afterwards. Do you prefer a male doctor or female doctor and why?
Here, let me put that in the chat in
All
case.
right, sounds good.
Question of the moment. Do you prefer male or female doctors?
Yeah, and I don't know if can you do polls?
Yes, you do it on the YouTube side. The only thing is it will disappear at the close of the show. So when you close the show, so you're better off doing polls on your community page.
I don't even know how to do a poll.
Oh, I will. Okay, after the show, I'll show you how to do a poll. How about that?
Okay.
Remind me.
Yeah, I is it like in the community moderation?
It's in the community page, but you can also do a poll in the chat itself. But like I said, if you do a poll in the chat, as soon as you end stream, the poll disappears. I learned that the painful way. I did not know that it disappears. Like yeah.
All right, so we have question of the moment. Do you prefer a male doctor or a female doctor, and why?
I think that's a good question.
I think it is too, especially.
And I think it's an excellent question for a poll.
Yeah, and I do I am curious.
Well, here's an interesting thing, and I also think it has to do with the amount of doctors. This is just a personal thing. I have never had a female OBGYN. Never. And it's mostly because of shortage of doctors. So all my OBGYN has always been male. Never had a female one.
Really?
Really?
Huh. Trying to think of.
However, they always have to bring a nurse in when they're in with you.
Right.
Always. Yeah. Which I think, I almost feel like that defeats the purpose because, all right, you have a doctor, you have a nurse. That nurse could be taking care of other patients at the same time. But the only reason that they're there is to ensure that there's no funny business going on between a male and a female patient, like a male doctor and a female patient.
Right. Or if, an accusation happens, then, there's witnesses in there. Yeah. And it's so messed up that is even.
It has to happen. Exactly.
Yeah. So the only male doctor that I ever had for that kind of thing was when I was pregnant with my son, because he was the only male. Or it was only males. I think there was like 2 male doctors that dealt with all of that. And
sadly, that's what's happening is there actually is a shortage of doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at it from different perspectives. You can look at it by the high amount of people who are passing away. You can look at the low amount of people who are going to med school. Or you could look at it from the perspective that now everybody has insurance. Because back then, like if you go back 10 years ago, I mean, I'm talking about Obamacare, but if you go back like 10 years ago before Obama, not everybody had insurance. So nobody went to the doctor unless it was serious, now that everybody has insurance, they could go to a doctor for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, that is true. Miss Valerie says, I think female doctors talk to you more and listen more.
See, I don't agree with that from my personal perspective.
Yeah.
With the exception of my current doctor, I think she absolutely does listen and talk to me. But in the past, I don't think I had a female doctor that.
And I think I would have to agree with Miss Valerie. Like with my primary doctor, she's a female. She knows that, she does her best to set me with other female doctors that she trusts. Like she's not just going to send me in somewhere and be like, yep, that's why I like her. She will reassure me. Because as soon as she starts talking about a new doctor, I get shaky. My anxiety starts going. And so she's like, don't worry. I know so-and-so. This is who I'm sending you to. She'll give me some background history and she'll let me know if, how close of friends they are. She will not send me to somebody that she doesn't know very well. And so I love my doctor. I think she is phenomenal. And she used to be in town here, and then she left the clinic here and went to a different clinic. And because of how many doctors I have gone through here, she shared where she was going, so that I could make an appointment with her, since she knew my history. And so she was the only doctor that I've ever had that ever did that for me. Otherwise, I was like always losing doctors left and right, having to start over. And that too can play havoc on your mental health. You know, you just get established, and you're finally figuring out what's going on, and then they leave the clinic.
Yeah. Or worse, insurance. Insurance doesn't cover. I had a horror story recently that I can't even believe that this actually happened to me. But I had to go to read Fighting Balance first, and then I'll tell the story.
I really don't care, male or female.
That looks like a llama.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be or female. Just want one that listens to me too. Many won't listen to me. Yeah, exactly. I think we can figure what you're saying. There was an emoji thrown in there, and
we think it's supposed to say female, but it looks like a llama or a lamb or a
sheep.
I don't know, donkey. No, but this is an actual.
I don't know. I type female. Yeah. So cell phones have a mind of their own. Let me tell you.
It just came up with a llama. It's like, I don't care if it's a llama. This is an actual case of what happened to me recently. Went to a liver specialist. I walk in. The doctor literally said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm here because they took a blood test. My liver is showing abnormalities. They referred me here to see you." And this is what he says. He says, "Your problem is you're too fat." So he says, "You need to go on a rice diet." So he grabs a piece of paper, hands it to me, and says, "Go on a rice diet, and then don't see me for another year." That's exactly what happened. So then he throws me out. He says, "Now get out." That's what he told me. So I go up to the receptionist, and she looks at me, and she's like, "Wow, he took a long time with you." I said, "Are you being sarcastic? Because he just threw me the fuck out." And she's like, "No, I'm not being sarcastic. He actually took a long time with you." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." I says, "I'm never coming back here again." I told her that. I'm like, "I'm just never coming." I'm like, "Don't even bother making a new appointment for me."
Wow.
But that was the actual interaction. He's like, "You're too fat. Here's the rice diet."
But I thought rice, with it being starchy,
would be worse for my. I was looking at the diet. It would actually be worse for what my symptoms are. Because I'm.
All right, let's do the positive quote for the week.
I'm sorry.
There is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. John Green.
I think that was just the worst doctor experience I've ever had. And I was only in there for 10 minutes at most. It was the quickest.
So, before my whole spleen thing happened, I was going to the doctor because I was in pain. I wasn't feeling good. And they kept telling me it was all in my head. That's what they kept telling me. It's all in your head. Well, I kind of figured that. I do have mental health issues. I do struggle with mental health. And they're like, "Oh, no, you're just, telling me that I was making it up." Okay.
But it's like, how could you make a spleen blew up? I was going to say, a spleen in general is not something that you generally use. It's like one of those things that you need it, but you don't necessarily need it.
Part of your immune system.
Right, but it's like it's
like a major part of your immune system.
I understand that, but what I mean is it's not like something you could will a problem with. Like they're making it sound like they're like, "Oh, it's all in your head." It's
hold
like
on. But hold on. There is here's the thing.
Hello, Play Space. Welcome to the show.
Great fan. Welcome. How are you doing? So your spleen. Okay, your spleen is up under your ribs. It's supposed to be invincible. When something happens to your spleen, it is trauma induced of some sort. That's the only way. That's what they were believing. The only way anything could happen to your spleen is trauma based. Okay. Doctors do not do anything when you come in with pains that they can't figure out what it is. They do not look at your spleen.
No, they won't look at it. No.
Because it's supposed to be invincible. I had AVM of the spleen. It is a birth defect. And if any of them doctors that I went into would have checked, I wouldn't have gone through the traumatic incident I did with my spleen. Because they would have been able to find it, figure out what to do with it. There was signs of previous bleeding in the pieces that they had to pick out when it blew up. There was blood staining from previous bleeds. And they told me that there was nothing wrong with me and it was all in my head.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm a big advocate to, if you are having pain, push your doctors to look at your spleen. If they cannot figure anything else out, have them check your spleen. I had AVM of the spleen. AVM is arteriovenous malformation, which is a birth defect that is usually found in your brain or your spine. Mine was in my spleen. When mine ruptured, I had a man that was very quick at thinking and got me to the hospital. I had a 1% chance of walking out of the hospital alive. If it was for Tommy getting me to the hospital the way he did, I would not be here. If it wasn't for the doctors taking a chance at doing a surgery they had never done before, and Tommy picks on me about video chatting. they video chatted. They YouTubed it. But they actually video chatted with the doctor that initially was going to do the surgery, but because of how far and how rapid everything went, I wouldn't have made it out of the hospital. They would have got me in the ambulance or in med flight, and I would have passed away in that vehicle, whichever one it was. 80% of my blood is transfused. 80%.
You're a whole new person.
Yeah, right?
You're
and I think in May, I do, because May will be my 5-year anniversary. Will be my birthday, my second birthday. And I do want to do a 5-year anniversary type thing for my spleen. And me being here and talking about the different struggles that I've had since that happened.
You, with a 1% chance to live, you broke every single medical miracle. I mean, you are a miracle baby. Well, miracle, I shouldn't call you a baby, but you know what I mean?
I was a preemie, it's like I was a preemie. I mean, I've had some.
I didn't say miracle person. I don't know why I was saying miracle. But what I mean is you broke the odds. And to me, that's saying that you're not finished. Like, whatever intervention there was, divine intervention, it's telling you that you still have a lot of work to do here. And that's
I don't know what it is, but you know what? I'm still here, and
that's a good thing. I
got to figure it out eventually, and but yeah, I want to talk about the different struggles since that happened. Survivor's guilt.
Why do I want to have? There you go. PlaySpace says your job is not complete, and Finding Balance had a good quote about their mention their daughter. Having a daughter with a brain deformity, it's all in her head, but the head affects everything else. It's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really does. Um, you are a 1% miracle. My daughter is to join the 1% club. Yeah, that. Me and Tommy talk about that too. I'm a 1%er in the medical field. In the medical field. Um, and the thing is, was she a preemie? Finding your balance. Was she a preemie? Because a lot of preemies, um, it's proven that they have a lot of medical things that they deal with throughout their whole life.
I was a preemie.
I was a preemie. And so, Jaslyn was a preemie. She was born about a month early. I was born, I don't know. I know I was a preemie. I think I was supposed to be born in April, but I was born in February.
Like that was overcooked. You were overcooked. You didn't want to come out.
Miss Valerie said, I told off a doctor because he wouldn't give me a stronger antibiotic. So I told him to get on the phone and get me a doctor who will. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to put your foot down with the doctors.
I'm going to say one thing. I'm not going to disclose what happened, but she had such a bad infection that it was like gangrene setting in, and nobody would give her an antibiotic to take care of it. And I couldn't believe it. So
yeah, that's that.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, you can, but it was disgusting the way the doctors treated her.
My aunt too. My aunt lost her leg because of a situation where the doctors weren't listening to her, and she's been a nurse her whole life. That's the thing. She's a nurse, and I wish Aunt Kelly was in here. Some of you may know who my Aunt Kelly is. She is awesome. She is 8 years older than me. And when I was born, my Aunt Kelly used to tell everybody that I was her baby. She carried me around like her baby doll. That's how little I was. I mean, I was little. My mom told me that she had to get the newborn Cabbage Patch doll clothes because clothes and diapers and stuff didn't fit me. They were too big. Finding Your Balance said, nope, but I was. Okay, yep. And Paper Plate said, I was overcooked. Yes, my son was overcooked. Almost 11 pounds. Oh, holy Jesus. Wow. My son was 8 pounds, 3.6 ounces, and almost about 23 inches long. And I couldn't deliver him because his head was too big. So I had to have a connection with him. Yes. So 11 pounds, I give your mama props. My daughter was much smaller. She was about 5 pounds when she was born. Was supposed to be a Christmas baby, but came in mid-November. Yep, that's Jaslyn. So the ultrasound tech actually, so I started going into labor early in October with Jaslyn. Every week I was at the ER. They were giving me a shot to stop my labor. It really sucked. And they did an ultrasound and they said, oh, we're scheduling you for November 27th. I get in there because I was also a back C-section, so I had to automatically had to have a C-section with Jaslyn. And so my kids are 18 months apart. And so went in, go under, and I hear the doctor say, oh, crap. My daughter should have been born on Christmas Day, not November 27th. They misread the ultrasound.
Wow.
Yep, the ultrasound tech misread it, and she was born way early. She was on a Billy blanket because she had jaundice, And so she was my little glowworm.
Aw.
Son, he was huge. And he was the only baby born in the hospital at the time he was born. So he had all the nurses loving up on him. They absolutely loved him. Green stuff came out. I think I'm going to talk to Aunt Kelly. I think I'm going to talk to her and see if she wants to come on and share her story, and what she went through all that, because it's quite, I believe it's quite similar, but her foot was black, and they wouldn't listen to her, and she was a nurse.
That's great.
Yes. Yeah, see, Paper Plate remembers Aunt Kelly. She remembers Aunt Kelly. And let me tell you, my Aunt Kelly has chewed me out live on my own channel. Me and Tommy have been live, and she has come on live with us, and she has chewed me out and stuck up for Tommy. And I'm like, really? You're my aunt? Tommy's just loved, and he knows it. She had a malformation of the brain that happened in the first week of conception. She has no division between left and right hemisphere. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I think you told me that before, but I don't think it was. I'm trying to think. I think you told me the bottom part, but I didn't know it was a malformation. Maybe that's what it was.
That's a big
7 inches, 10 pounds, 9 ounces, and breech. Oh boy, your mama needs a freaking medal.
big baby.
Or is it breech? It would be breech. Either way, I knew what you meant.
We know what you meant, yeah.
FYB. I know it's you, James. I have seen your daughter in live. Yeah, she is adorable. But I guess I didn't really realize the severity of, the diagnosis. She is a sweetheart.
See, look at the next line. That's amazing. She is a miracle. She was never supposed to live, and she just turned 10.
Yeah, she's adorable. I've seen her on the lives and stuff, and I knew it was you, James. Sassy. Melanie was 7 to 9 ounces, and I was in 30 days. Or I was in the hospital for 30 days. Yeah. 7 to 9 ounces. How preemie were you?
7 pounds, 9 ounces.
Oh, I was like 7 to 9 ounces. Holy wow. You want to talk about a miracle?
I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. 7 pounds, 9 ounces. I don't know. Yeah, that was too tight. I mean, I know it was a preview, but she had a lot of issues, gestational diabetes and stuff like that.
Your mom.
Yeah, I was supposed to. I was supposed to die in the hospital. She was supposed to die in the hospital. We both survived. So,
wow. That's wild. And we're all here because we're supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. And that is one hell of a positivity. Okay, I don't know what that was. Oh.
You didn't drop your drink, did you?
I spilt it a little bit.
Oh no, don't drop it.
This keyboard, I'm telling you.
Be careful.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have
to. PlaySpace says only child. So the mom had just one and done, right? I'm an only child too. I don't have any brothers or sisters.
I am the oldest of 6, but only grew up with 2 of my siblings. I didn't know about the other one, my other siblings.
I find it amazing when people have like a lot of brothers and sisters. Like, I don't know. My ex was number 19. He had 18 brothers and sisters. That's crazy. That's too many kids. That's when you have to like sew the leg shut.
Well, we had a family in I brought your comment up, paper plate, JC. So I didn't lose my spot because when I spelt, I lost my spot. So we had a family in Clintonville where I grew up. It was a farming family. There was 26 kids, a lot of twins and triplets. But yeah, and they were homeschooled and they worked on the farm. They were the strange family. But I thought that was a lot of kids. I thought 3 kids was a lot of kids, but then I wanted to have 5. I wanted 4 boys and a girl, and then I was only able to have 1 boy, 1 girl. So I'm happy with that. Oh yeah, she is not scared to tell you her opinion, not one bit. Yeah, Aunt Kelly. Melanie, wait until you meet my Aunt Kelly. She is awesome.
I can't wait to meet her.
She
hopefully we'll meet her soon.
And that reminds me. Let me write a note because I do have to reach out to her too. I'm really bad at remembering to reach out to people. So if a lot of times I forget. So.
I'm bad. I don't reach out to people at all. People reach out to me. I'm the type, if you want to talk to me, just reach out to me. I'll talk to you. If not, I'm probably never going to reach out.
Hey, babe, Tommy. Are you in the chat yet? I need you to do me a favor. JC says only child. LOL. Can you reach out to Aunt Kelly and send her a link to this live, please? Okay. Okay, so while that's awesome at finding your balance.
That was about yeah.
Miss.
She was just saying yes tonight.
James is, I was 4 pounds when I was born. That's about what I was. And I was like 15 and a half inches long or something like that. I was tiny. I was very tiny. So I know. Preemies unite. Preemies unite. That's it. James says, surprisingly, besides my ADHD and being small for my age until I was in my 20s, didn't have many medical issues. Well,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a very good thing. That is a very good thing. I can't say so much.
I've had medical issues. Oh, there's my hope. My hope is coming now. Oh, nope, she walked away.
She's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
She was going to come. Hello, Blake. Welcome to the show.
Hello. I have an older sister named Ronnie. There's a song running in my head because of my daughter with that Shy Ronnie. I'll have to have Jasmine send you. It's funny as heck. So I'll be able to remember that because of that song. Or that YouTube thing.
Oh, here she comes. Hi, baby.
Mel, were they from the TV show?
The 18 and counting or something? Which the answer is no, they weren't. Because this was back, he's old. He's this was, but he was the youngest of.
Oh,
he was number 19. So he's number 19. He had 18 brothers and sisters, and he was the youngest. So, and he's already up there in age.
That's wild. JC says, LOL, I can only imagine. And now that song is in my head. Thank you.
Only imagine. There's my hope. That's hope.
All right. So I sent Tommy to do an errand for me. Wife had 3. I claimed as mine too, and I raised not my blood, but my son. I had custody of his entire life. That's pretty awesome. So by blood, none of my 4. But So by blood, none of my own, but for just the same, a part of my heart and soul. You know what? And 9 times out of 10, thank you, honey. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter if you're blood related or not. If you treat somebody as family, they're family.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, it's better when with that situation, like in your situation, none of them are yours, but you have 4 children that are your heart and soul. That just means it was better, that it was meant to be. So those children are yours no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
You know, I made mention to this, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, I don't know your personal situation, but me personally, I cannot stand whether it's either adopted or if it's a like stepchild or something like that. From why call them, like, why introduce? Oh, this is my adoptive son and daughter. This is my stepson. It's like they are your child. Why put that disclaimer on and separate if they're family? I can never understand that. So, I mean, if depending on whether it is your husband's children or your wife's children or anything like that, they're your children. You're taking responsibility. Yeah. And same
so
thing if it's adopted, they're your children.
exactly. So Jaslyn wants to adopt. She doesn't want to have any children of her own. She wants to adopt. And she's been like this for quite a few years where she just wants to adopt. And we told Jaslyn that it doesn't matter if you have them naturally, if you adopt, or if you marry somebody who has children, they will still be our grandkids. You have to be 40 when you get married. However, you know,
40?
older, but
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter to us if she adopts, has her own, or becomes a stepmom. Those kids are going to be our grandkids. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and that's just how it is. Let's see.
I have never heard that before. Haloprosencephaly, shortened to hope. Oh, and we're talking about hope. I gotta look that. I've never heard of that before.
All right, Mr. Thomas. He Tommy 2.0 has messaged her. JC says completely or agree completely does. James says 40s is too young. I know, but you know, when she's 40, we can't control her anymore. We can't say no. Just kidding. When she turns 18, you already know that she's going to be one of those people that just is going to go do her own thing. I can agree, Mel. I think the exception is dependent on the child a lot of times. Myself, I have always claimed as my kids, but they were also okay with it. Yeah.
It's the opposite too. Yeah.
Me personally, I think people who do that are in it for just a title. People are like, oh, this is my step kid, or this is my adopted kid. I think it's just for a title, trying to get sympathy. That's my personal belief.
I just think it's such a disgrace because you're automatically segregating your kid from your family.
Yeah, and exactly. I've seen the total opposite though. I'm trying to catch up. Brain is going.
I think that she's mentioning from what you above that a lot of times myself, I always claimed as my kids, but they were also okay with it. There are times where the child is not okay. They'll say, "You're not my mommy. You're not my daddy. Don't treat me that way." So you're right. It is dependent upon the child. And Kelly is not active.
All right. Aunt Kelly
Aw. You know what? You got to invite her next time.
Watch this.
You're going to be messaging like, Aunt Kelly, come on now. You're calling Aunt Kelly now? Maybe she's busy. She's busy.
My aunt's phone is not working either.
She's busy.
Oh, now it's up. Now, Aunt Kelly. I just talked to her not too long ago.
Means there needs to be a lot of there needs to be a lot of work and love. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I also find that hard. I mean, I know I'm talking about adoption. There's other instances where it could be like I said, a stepson, stepchild, something like that, or a stepdaughter. But I always wonder because a few of my friends have been adopted, and one of the things that they always wanted to look for was their mother or father, like who their parents were. And I said to them, I said, why? Like, I mean, I guess I don't understand it because I'm not in their shoes, but it's like there was a reason that they gave you up for adoption. Why would you want to open up wounds like that from the past? Like, maybe you may not want to know who the mother or father is. Maybe that you shouldn't know. And you're saying because of closure? It could really be because of closure. But maybe that's a sort of closure that shouldn't be open to begin with. I was talking to Des earlier. One of the questions I've had was in regards to when your past comes back to you, is it proper to leave it closed or open the book and try to start all over again?
And I think it also depends on what from the past is being brought through. I think the wounds might have never closed. And Tommy's got a good point. Some people just need to know where they come from.
I can understand from like a medical perspective, like if you need to know your medical history, which I think that should be included with adoption. Like if you're adopted, it should be included. Okay, your medical history is this. You have a history of, and that should, and everything else should be completely private. You know what I mean? Because it would make sense if you know whether your family does have, like maybe, I don't know, cancer, diabetes, some sort of medical issue, that if you knew about that to begin with.
And there might be, and a lot of times too, it's, they want to know where they come from, like Tommy said. And there might be circumstances that were out of the parents' control to where it was the only option that they have. And so, the child wanting to know more information as an adult, then, I think that if somebody's adopted, as soon as they turn 18, they should be able to get the information that they need to be able to talk to that parent. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that's just me, because I think that there should be some way to be able to be contacted. James said, I never knew my mother till mid-20s. For me, wasn't really worth the looking. I tracked her down for family medical stuff, but don't really have a relationship with her. Exactly. If you have, questions, you want that closure, you want to know why, you want to know where you come from, then that's the best thing. And then you can choose from there if you want a relationship with the family or not, But there might be circumstances that were beyond their control. And so I'm one to want to face past or any issues that comes along, and it has got me into some generic battles in my head from my traumas, but I feel I might work on it differently today than I did 2 years ago.
See, you bring up an interesting point about that, because my opinion is, with your past, you are trapped in whatever persona you were at that time. I'm using the word persona because who you were in the past is completely different than who you are now. And I almost feel like by facing your past, you have to try to get yourself back into that mentality of who you were then, because the person you are now is not the same person that's going to react the same way you would have reacted back then, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
also, but in the same sense also is you are different than you were 2 years 2 years prior, so you might be stronger and being able to face it. But if it is still traumatizing to try to go back and open up that to try to work on it, then that just means you need more time. And I know a lot of times our time is not on our side. However, it just, each person is different, and it also depends on what that past situation is on how you want to proceed. All right. Here we go. Okay, I did read that one. So Tommy's comment is, if I was adopted, I would want to know where I came from, no matter if it was from a crackhead or a rich scandal.
What if it's just something that's totally boring? Like there is no crackhead or rich sex scandal or anything like that. It's just, that's it. You give it up, and it does. But I think what I need is to be different so I can look at it from a new perspective.
Yeah, and we grow every day, be it either this way or that way. We should always grow a little bit every day. And that's by learning something new every day. And so,
hello, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Miss Jenny, how are you doing, Miss Jennifer Hayes? How are you doing? So I think that when you are thinking about going back to a previous situation in your life, you have to decide too, not only what is that situation, but how have you grown before you go back to that situation. Guys,
the next line's a good point, but I'm going to make one more point on this. You need your past to move forward. But here's my question. What if you've already closed the door on your past? That was the action of moving forward, was closing the door, forgetting about it, moving away from it. But now your past is coming back to you. And I guess that's what the question, and I'm bringing this up, not to talk personal, but I recently had a friend after 13 years. So after 13 years, they're talking to me, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I even opening up this door? I closed this door so long ago, and now they're coming back into my life and bringing up things I don't want to face.
See, and if it's been 13 years since that person, you have talked to that person, and the things that person has done to you, I know who you're talking about. So anyway, but I would not open that door, and I would have that person.
I'm not opening the door. I should have left.
Personally, it depended on where I was in my life, I suppose. Yeah. On if I want to deal with that shit again.
I'm slamming the door shut.
There you go. But yeah, it is a good question. Do you or do you not? So it just all depends on how strong you feel that or it depends on how you feel, how strong you are, and what the situation is. How's that?
I find it interesting, though. This is me personally. Other people may have a different perspective, but I find when I'm at my lowest, that's when everything hits me all at once. Like that's when things come out of the blue that I was not even expecting, is during the points when I'm at my lowest. It's like I'm inviting crazy into my life.
So
Play space is a good thing. Then I don't think the door was ever completely closed. Is it ever?
right.
That's the problem. If people keep trying to open it up, I don't think it's ever going to be closed. Me, I shut the door, but somebody else decided to open it up. And it's like I'm trying to slam
Don't
it,
let them
put the
have that
lock.
power over you. Tell them, nope, the door's closed. It's closed for a reason. This ain't no window with a crack in it. This is a full-blown door shut. Go away.
Shut
We're
the door.
not home. JC says, LOL, Tommy. Tommy says hi to Jennifer Hayes. Everybody's saying hi to Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer replies to Tommy. Tommy, it was definitely a crackhead.
It was a crackhead.
She knows Tommy also well. Casey says, yes, I agree. Oh, Dan, Jennifer. She said, just kidding.
Hey, you made us
And
laugh.
Tommy-
So that was right.
Tommy
Like,
takes it
it's
all.
like
with
crackhead.
his- Tommy's laughing his ass off. I can hear him.
It was a crackhead. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I
there,
just.
that was that. We all have memories, good and bad, and it makes us exactly who we are. It makes us stronger, or it makes us stay, kind of stuck, cemented where we were. But I think everybody grows even just a little bit, even if they don't realize it. Miss Valerie said, so you have changed and you don't need that past. You are stronger. And I agree. And yes, some just are not worth the ripples they cause. Exactly. Tell them.
I have that problem too. This is my problem. I don't have to invite crazy. It naturally comes to me. I am like the crazy magnet. That's how I feel. Uh-oh. Is that
Kelly?
Is Kelly in the house?
That is my Aunt Kelly.
Kelly,
Aunt Kelly, your phone's not working.
She's bugging. She's like,
oh, why is my Aunt Kelly not blue?
Well, yeah, I think finding
I have to
balance
wait
and
for her
Kelly.
comment to go up in chat so I can turn her blue again. See, everybody's so excited to see Aunt Kelly. How you doing, Aunt Kelly? Oh, trying to adjust here.
Yeah, so you might as well do finding balance if you're doing both of them.
Okay, here we go.
I think everybody else is blue. What is he putting his eBay items in the hospital again? That's not. Wait. Is that working, or is that you're in the hospital for something bad?
I don't know.
Aww. We hope everything's okay, Kelly.
Well, Aunt Kelly, we brought it back. Mental health, positive, safe place. Real quick, let me catch up with everything. Everybody's saying hi to my Aunt Kelly. Tommy says, if you would like to show some support,
that's what they are.
There's a link to Destiny's mental health decals and stickers.
I totally missed that. That's why he dropped the link. I missed the line about the mental health stickers.
Yeah, and then he dropped the eBay one.
Let's see what. I want to see.
Is your phone? Is that why your phone's turned off? It's because you're back in the hospital, Aunt Kelly.
Well, can I just here?
So my mental health sucks right now. Yeah, we are back doing this, Aunt Kelly. So every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, which would be 8 p.m. your time. She's in Florida. You're still in Florida, right? Everybody sending love and prayers.
Oh, it says her lungs don't work too well.
Is that still from when you were in the hospital last time? No, my phone. I just tried calling live and it said that something about restrictions on your phone. Oh, you blocked me because you don't want me to talk in your ear off. Miss Valerie says, sorry to hear that.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I remember we were supposed to meet up. What the hell, Kelly? So Aunt Kelly's been through a lot. Yeah, that's right. JC lives really close to my Aunt Kelly. And so I'm gonna get yelled at.
If you want, being that Tommy put the link, if you want to just show the picture, I edited it below. So if you want to show what the decal looks like.
Yep, this is for the mental health awareness. We have a few different mental health decals. And
which I think there you go. Yeah, it changes.
This one's in green.
These are cute.
I actually just did a huge order of that particular decal. And for a Tommy, you're gonna have to explain because Tommy did the whole transaction. I just made all the decals, and there was 250 of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I got them done with within a couple days after everything went through. So, okay, so no more smoking. Well, if you're having issues breathing, yes, I agree. I don't know what's going on with me.
And you can do it. It's going to be hard at first, but it'll be well worth it in the long run. I'm trying to get my mom to stop smoking as well, so.
Yeah, that is one of the new mental health decals that I'm doing. We have a couple different ones as well. You can do it, Aunt Kelly, from Miss Jennifer Hayes. Edibles are more fun.
I agree. Yes.
Okay, so yes, we did a large order for a Michigan statewide mental health clinic. And they absolutely love them. And we are now going to be their supplier for all their mental health decals and stuff. LOL. Oh, Aunt Kelly has COPD. Oh, wow. That's wild.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to stop smoking.
That sucks, Kelly. My mom-in-law has that, and I have seen her suffer at times. Oh, wow. Thank you, Jennifer.
I'm worried that that's going to be what's happening with me because I've been having a lot of lung issues myself. So they're giving me this new steroidal inhaler that I have to take once a day. But it's and then they gave me the albuterol for emergencies.
Does it look like that?
Yeah, that's the albuterol one. The other one is that's the one they want for when I need like emergency. This one is actually going to be a disc. And
Purple? Advair?
It's a gray disc, and it you have to suck on it, and it's a
powder.
Powder, yeah.
Yep, I have that one. I have that one actually upstairs.
Yeah.
For my asthma.
So
does that say emphysema? I've never seen the word emphysema, so I'm just guessing that's trying to sound that out.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
We'll keep you in my thought, or we'll keep you in my thoughts for sure. Hate hearing this. Me too. That's my Aunt Kelly, and she's only 8 years older than me. So, I was her baby doll.
I didn't pick it up from the pharmacy because they just prescribed it today for me. So I'm gonna try
The
it.
purple stuff, I will have to tell you, when you do take the disc, okay, the powder, you set it up. So you take it and you push the button back to click, and then it brings it forward so that or you push the button back till it clicks, and then you have to put your mouth on it and inhale, and then you get all that powder in there, but you got to do it fast. Otherwise it'll get all in your mouth, and you want to rinse your mouth after every use of that
Yeah,
powder.
that's what they said. They said after about 3 minutes, start gargling. So
Yeah. What is a purple disc that is for Advair? They use it. The powdered stuff is used for a lot of things when it comes to all different kinds of breathing stuff. AG. Yeah, we're good.
Mhm.
Are you good? I don't know how to say your YouTube name. I can't see.
ATG Nat at Nat podcast
Yes.
at Nat.
And then you have. And
I
then you have nebulizer.
I don't have a nebulizer. However, have gone to the hospital ER to get nebulizer treatments. So I don't know. I guess because they don't consider my asthma chronic or anything like that. But I have gone to the hospital multiple times because I've stopped breathing, and they had to put me on a nebulizer treatment. Yeah.
I have the nebulizer. I have the inhalers, and I do smoke, but with my anxiety and stuff, it's the only thing that I found that really helps calm me down at this point. And I do have to. We have to quit. Tommy and I have to quit. But I personally, I'm not ready yet. Tommy says, I have to quit smoking. I'm starting to have blackout coughing fits. Yeah, and it's scary.
That's
Yeah, he's sometimes because he's always messing around. So sometimes I don't catch it right away because I always think that he's messing around, and then and then we realize like very quickly that if he's messing around or not. Make sure you stay on top of that or top of it. I vape. Yep. Tommy he's got the vapes and stuff like that. So,
but now they're saying that vaping might be making it worse because you get popcorn lungs with vaping.
Popcorn lungs is BS. It was something that was made up
to it is
keep people away from vaping because it's a big thing between the vaping company and the tobacco company. So the tobacco company is making up a bunch of crap about vaping. Vaping's making up a bunch of crap about tobacco. All of it, tobacco is bad because it's got a lot of crap in it. But it's
well, now the weird thing is that they completely did away with menthol cigarettes.
They did. I don't know if that's even true because we still have menthol. That's what Tommy smokes is menthol. I smoke non-menthol.
I mean, some states are completely doing away with menthol, which to me doesn't make sense.
The government's that allowed the smoking in the first place. So now they want to take it away, and that's BS. I do my nebulizer every 4 hours. Yep, and when she was in the hospital last time too, she was doing that. Stop smoking, you're too young. But when they took my leg, I started smoking more, so it was what it is. Yeah, and that was a scary, scary situation when she lost her leg. And Aunt Kelly, when you're feeling better and you're out of the hospital or you're doing good while in the hospital, if you want to come up on the panel and share your story, and everything that you went through, it might be able to help other people as well. And it'll be good to see you. So I love my Aunt Kelly. We all need to quit smoking. Vaping didn't work for me. Yeah, I have, let me see if I still have it here.
Your vape cartridges.
Yeah, a kit for the nicotine stuff, but I haven't used it. It's probably not a good thing. I don't even know what half this stuff is. I think Tommy's gonna have to figure this out for me because it needs a charge. Tommy's singing upstairs. I can hear him. Up here. Okay. Vaping is worse than smoking cigarettes. If you take the nicotine out of vape liquid, it actually classified as a lubricant. There are safe vaping juices, and then there's ones that are not good for you. You want I think it's food grade. Tommy's not even by his computer, so I can't even say for sure, but you just have to look at the back of the container and see, or the vape juice, and just see exactly what it's made out of, because there are some that are really bad. If you take that one we did read. The street made the vapes. Oh, the street made THC vapes is what made a big thing about vaping too. Yeah, and I don't do any of that stuff. Yes, food grade. Thank you, JC. We've tried the pill form to quit smoking, Chantix, and I did okay at first, but for men who take Chantix, they get angry. It changes. Yeah, it's not good.
That's not good. Yeah,
not good at all.
Because it's going to be stress against the body to begin with to quit smoking.
Yeah, Tommy, are you on your computer yet? I heard you singing, but I don't hear you singing, so I don't know if you're back on your computer or not. Tell me your experience with Chantix. I take
ivermectin.
What is that? I gotta find it over here so I can look that word up, because I don't even know what that is.
Anti-parasite medicine? Roundworms.
Hold on.
Because I was going to say, that's the stuff that they give to dogs.
It's an anti-parasite?
Yeah, to treat parasite disease, hookworms, parasitic worms, whipworms. But I thought that's what they give to animals, like horses and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what they use for...
They might have spelled it wrong. Okay. They might have spelled it wrong. It's too hard to talk and keep my voice, baby. It's okay, Auntie. I'm just saying, when you're feeling a lot better, you don't have to come up now. But when you are feeling a lot better, vape does satisfy my smoking urge. Yeah, and vaping, it's something that me and Tommy have talked about doing. He does it. I just don't. I'm not in the mindset yet, but and I know people think this is crazy, but when people who smoke, they have anxiety and stuff like that. I use mine a lot for my anxiety, which I shouldn't do because it's a crutch. And it doesn't help me deal with the anxiety so much. However, I do need to figure out something, because with Tommy having the issues that he's having, he can't quit because I'm not ready to quit, but also quitting is a mindset. You have to be ready for it. And no matter how much I know mentally I'm not ready to quit smoking. However, I don't
And
know when my mind is going to be on that mindset. So it's like, and Tommy does. He's got a couple cool vapes. So, uh,
it's like with no offense, it's like with me losing weight. I know I'm not in the right mindset. When I get in the right mindset, then I would be motivated. But
yeah,
I'm not in the right mindset.
her lungs are not the best right now to be talking, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said when you're feeling better, Aunt Kelly, um, please, let me know and you can come on and share if you feel comfortable. Although I know my auntie, when she's feeling better, she's definitely going to be on here yelling at me. You need to quit smoking. You need to do this. You need to do that. That's my auntie, though. She's the only one that's allowed. Besides, my mom is only allowed. They're the only ones allowed to yell at me. Yes, food grade. Yep, food grade vape stuff, vape juice is what we found is pretty good.
I will
Um,
tell you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
a good buddy of mine makes a national brand of liquid. Oh, nice.
I have tried the THC vapes, and I will say because of my asthma, it hits so much harder for me. It really does. I mean, because I have trouble breathing, if I use a vape, I am gone with the THC.
See,
Gone.
and for me, I'm really not sure because I'm waiting for it to be legal here and where I live. However, here is another question for everybody in the chat.
Let me put it in.
All right. Is yours, how do I want to word this? Is your state legal for marijuana? So, however you want to word that. Um, and if so, do you use it for your mental health?
Should I be the first one to answer this?
All right, let me
My
get down to that question real quick. Let me quickly go through these comments.
yeah, get into
Tommy,
the comments.
Aunt Kelly said, Tommy texted me and told me you were alive. Yes, I'm alive, Auntie. We are alive. Jennifer Hayes said, I tried the patch thing, didn't work. I was still smoking. Exactly. Chantex made um, James nervous. Oh, I'm supposed to tell him he's making food. So Tommy got angry. It changed the chemicals in his brain, Chantex did, and made him angry. And he was angry um, for just even the simplest things that normally would have never set him off. He'd been like, whatever. But it made him very angry. If anybody else in chat has had experiences with Chantex, feel free to put them down in the chat or in the comments down below after the live. JC says yes. Podcast says yep. AT podcast. That's what I'm gonna call you because it's like really. I don't know how else. Or if you have a name you would like to be called, let me know. Um, JC said it's a thing that got pushed during exactly the C. The big C gave Aunt Kelly nightmares. Um, I did okay with it. However, I did have nightmares, but I kind of actually chalked that up to the PTSD. So I was having nightmares before, and during that, they were a little bit more intense. And then after Chantex, it was, I mean, I slowed down with smoking and I did stop for like 2 weeks, but it didn't last. That's for sure. Um, I feel fantastic. All right. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The patch makes me crazy. Yup. I can go up to 8 days without smoking, but on the eighth day, I freak out. And the only reason why I know that is because of my spleen. When I was in the hospital for my spleen, they had me on a patch. And then on the eighth day, I literally started freaking out. And it was weird. Chantix didn't make me angry. This is James. I was already angry. Quitting smoking just made it harder to mask. Working in the anger and working on the anger in therapy, but it was always there under the surface. Yeah, and it intensified for Tommy. Like he did. It was just even the smallest little thing. Um, and so things that didn't even make sense to be angry about. So the doctor said it was because it changed the chemicals and that they took him off right away. As soon as because it almost took effect immediately. And he and I both thought that it was just withdrawals from the tobacco or from the cigarettes, but
Wow.
found out it wasn't. Chantix is no joke, no joke. And you can only do Chantix once because if you go on it and you go off of it and you go back on it again, it won't work.
Wow.
I don't know why it does that, but a lot of people that I've talked to that have had Chantix, it's
So you're expected to be on it for like your whole life?
no, it's I think like a 6 month thing, but not everybody makes it through the 6 months.
Right, because he ended up going.
There's a lot of people that don't make it through the 6 months. Aunt Kelly said, "Nope, I love you, and it's your choice." Mom doesn't smoke anymore either. I don't know if you knew that, Aunt Kelly, but Mom stopped smoking, and out of respect for her, I don't smoke like in her house. And I don't. I go outside, but if I notice that the smoke is going in her face, I'll move so that the smoke is not going in her face. So, or I'll step back far enough to where I'm still talking to her, but I'm having my cigarette. So, I switched to disposable. The salt nicks are much better, I think. I don't know what that means.
Disposable vapes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. I have a vape pen, but I don't know where it's at. Tommy has all that stuff.
For this question, it's interesting because there's right now there's two answers. Place-based said medical here in Florida, and yes, they do use it. And then finding your balance. Now I'm in Texas as well, and it says not legal in Texas except some medical uses. My daughter is one of the first in Texas to approve. Now here's the thing about Texas, which makes it interesting. There are only basically like 3 dispensaries, mostly in Dallas or Austin. That's the only places you're going to find a dispensary. And I think in Houston as well. So I think Dallas, Houston, and Austin are the only places you're going to find a dispensary. You need a medical card for that. And they don't approve everyone. Chronic pain is not one of the things. They only approve it for like serious, like stage 4 cancers or something like that. So it is very, very hard to get a medical card in Texas. So the fact that the daughter has a medical card, I mean, that's good, particularly if it works for her. But Texas has a nice little loophole where as long as it's 5 milligrams or less, they're not going to, if you're caught with gummies or anything like that, they can be up to 5 milligrams each. They will not press charges on you, but it is completely illegal. So now because of that threshold, I'm able to order them from out of state to have them delivered.
Oh, nice.
So I do get them mailed to me.
Okay. So Tommy claims that he uses it for my mental health. LOL. It is not legal in our state yet, and I cannot wait for it to be legal in our state because I am willing to try that over all the other crap that they've given me over the years that hasn't done anything but made things worse. But every state around us, it's legal.
I will tell you this. If you've never tried it before, you should.
Well, for medical and for recreational, it is legal around us.
So you're next.
Wisconsin. Right now, it is in, where is it, Tommy, in regards to, it's on the in the talks.
Like the House floor, but it's not approved.
JC's laughing. I'm dying, Tommy. I don't know, and no. So I think Florida it is, but I'm not 100% sure. But maybe Aunt Kelly could, if it is. And Tommy's being sassy in chats between him and JC.
Artichoke extra.
Okay, I bet you.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I bet you that's what that was. It was a misspelling. There's one on every corner here, and okay, so yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, JC is not that far from Aunt Kelly, so then yes. And
if it's legal in your state, there's a dispensary everywhere.
Yeah, so Aunt Kelly, you need to look into that because I think it'll help you. JC's like, amen, Des. I don't remember what I said, but all right. Woohoo! You gotta pound the water at least 4 gallons a day to rid your body of. Can you say that word for me, Mel? Because I can't say that word.
If you're British, it's aluminium, but if you're American, it's aluminum.
You are taking in with all this vaping. I can't say the word, and I am not going to butcher it live on YouTube.
Well, that's what I said. If you're British, it's aluminium. The first time I heard that, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't realize that's how they say it in overseas. So aluminum in America, aluminium in Britain.
There are a few words that you will not catch me saying on a live because I unalive them so badly.
So now, even not reading it, you can't say it just saying it without reading it?
Oh, wow. I can't say the word at all because it comes out a different word and it's very funny sounding. Just like you will hear me say worldwide and not the other word that starts with a G because I cannot pronounce that word either. When Tommy was trying to come up with a name for his business.
Global?
Yeah, I can't say that word.
Oh, wow. When you said G, I'm like, gee, what's a global? Okay.
Yeah, I can't say that word at all. And when he came up with a business name and it had that in there, I said it and he about died laughing. And I'm like, what? And he's like, that's not how you say it. I'm like, oh, well, that's how I say it.
You got to break it down. Global.
Yeah, not live.
Okay.
Well, hello, Nick. Welcome. Nick.
Nick's Push Horror Channel.
Yeah, Horror Channel. Hello.
Horror Channel. Yes.
Get our link for Thursday ready because I'll need you to drop that soon, my dear. Tommy says they say it will be legal here by the end of the year, which I am hoping and praying it is, because I would love to be able to try it with it being regulated and a more natural thing. There are less side effects than it is with medication. The medication side effects for me are horrible because I will have one medication and have to have 20 other medications to counteract the side effects for the one medication that's supposed to help. I don't want to deal with that no more. I just absolutely do not want to deal with it anymore. And so I really am hoping and praying that they make it legal. If not, we're moving to a state that it is legal. It's the only thing that slows my mind enough to focus. Yeah, and so that is what I think I need help with the most, besides, everything else that's going on. Just my mental health in general. I think it would be because I've talked to people who use it for their mental health and it has improved their life majorly. I mean, absolutely majorly. And I would love to be able to. I'm not going to do it until it's legal.
I will say this: it has helped me, and I know it's not legal here in this state, but it has helped me in ways because I feel so much better taking that than when I take other medicines.
Yeah. You got the pharmaceutical company, they make these medications, and then you have to take like 20 other ones, like I said, just to counteract the side effects from the initial problem that you had that you were taking the first medication for. And then you have to be careful because in those 20 different medications that you take for the side effects, you got to make sure that none of them are clashing and killing you at the same time. That's what happened with me and Tommy, or with me when Tommy and I first started dating. I was on a lot of medication when we got together, and I was always sick and just started going downhill. And he looked at all my medication, him being the wonderful expert and great at research. He was finding that a bunch of my medications that they had prescribed to me were clashing and causing the reaction that I was having. James said Emily's medical use is for
spasticity.
I don't know what that word means.
I would think like jerking motions or spatial awareness.
Okay. She is one of a handful approved for that use right now. She is in a state trial, and it's the best thing we have ever done for her. It's been amazing. That great. Is awesome. That is so awesome.
And see, that's why I'm a proponent that says, yes, marijuana should be for medical use. It should be for people who have, I mean, I never thought that it would help me. It does help. So it's just getting access sometimes.
Florida is, and it does. I just don't. It's like a church. There's a dispensary on every corner. Mm-hmm. Nope, I'm good with not smoking. Thank you, though. They have gummies. Just saying, Auntie.
I think that was coming from what he was taking. What she was taking.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Tommy and the podcast person are having a conversation back and forth because Tommy is a researcher. So if he finds something, or he can, he finds that it's not true, or if it's true, or, that's just what he does. He likes his research. So any information that you can give him to head towards the research that he needs, he's all for that. 72-hour fast once a week will help kickstart the elimination of toxins. That's like not eating and stuff, right? 72-hour fast. Mm-hmm. I was in labor for 72 hours. Nah, I'm good. Sorry.
Yeah, the ivermectin was for the C19.
Okay, yeah, I see, and what I found was it was a thing for worms.
Yes, that too. That's it. It's a worm medicine.
I want everybody not to take that because of people getting sick. That was
but they used it for C19.
Yeah, see, and we didn't have to worry about that issue around here too much. Vape liquid has metallic compounds. Okay. Tommy and them are going back and forth. Let them do that.
Absolutely.
Texas is so strict on it. Her home health nurse can't dispense it. Neither can the hospitals. I have to give it to her. CBD rules in Texas are outdated, but
the list backwards.
Won't catch up. Okay. Yes, yeah, and that's crazy. All right, real quick, we're going to take a quick break on the mental health stuff. We are doing a solar eclipse show on Thursday on Miss Melanie Lightbeam's channel. Yeah. There is the link. It is in the chat. Let me go up and actually pin it. There we go. It is pinned at the top of the chat.
This is part of our paranormal weekly thing. And if anybody's wondering why this is paranormal, because this is the first solar eclipse that people are losing their minds over.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, if you haven't heard what has been going on strictly, and for those of you who don't know, the eclipse is this Monday. So Monday the 8th is when the eclipse is going to happen. We're going to have the show on Thursday the 4th to explain it. So there is actually going to be a solar eclipse.
So it is pinned up at the top of the chat box. Please make sure you head over, bookmark that show, follow Miss Melanie's channel, and come check out our solar eclipse for Thursday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
And hello, Susanna. I just saw her come in. I'm sorry. We're trying to keep up with the chat. And
what time is work tomorrow? I'm not sure what that means. Oh, okay. That's between them two again. Let me find where we're going.
I'm sorry. Thank you for the classification. She says jerking is actually dystonia. Spasticity is the stiffness of the muscles.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never heard that term, and you've probably used it, and I didn't register it. So I didn't know that. I knew that there was something with their muscles. I just couldn't remember what. And if it's helping, that is phenomenal. That is a positive thing. Yes. Okay, again, another quick, let's do the quote for the week. There is hope, even when your brain tells you there isn't. John Green. Make sure you remember that quote this week. I have left it up scrolling at the bottom of the screen. If you need to write it down, put it up somewhere so you see it constantly as a reminder, because the struggle is real. But this quote is also very real. Nothing lasts forever. All right. Let's see. Okay. That is, again, between Tommy and them. They're putting it on the ballot here in Florida as a way to steer the election the way they want it to go. Oh, okay.
Legalizing, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's my aunt lives in Florida and it's already legal there. So maybe let us know exactly what you mean by that comment, so I know exactly what you're talking about, so I'm on the same page. I did a Google search, found a bunch about babes being made from that word.
Aluminium. Aluminum.
Body contamination. That's why I asked if you had a link. Okay, so that is that again. Research every device, liquid, and coil ever used. Same with Tommy. Tommy did too. Aunt Kelly said maybe 20 years ago. Oh, see, like I said, Tommy did too. So, and he's not going to put anything in his body like that. That's bad, because he's a researcher. That's what he does. If I have a question about something and he doesn't know the answer, or if any of y'all have a question and he doesn't know the answer, he will have the answer for you very quickly, because that's what he does.
Susanna's next one. I have to make a comment about what she said next.
Okay, the pew pew.
Yes. Speaking of pew pews, this was the first time I went to a normal street fair flea market. You can actually walk up and there'll be pew pews all over the tables, and people are just buying them right then and there. That's how legal they are in Texas. There's no crazy. I mean, I hate to say this. Of course, when you go to gun stores, there's like I shouldn't say. I'm sorry. When you go to pew pew stores, when you go to pew pew stores, they do background checks and stuff like that. But I cannot tell you how many normal street fairs, garage sales, anything like that, they'll have them all across the table. And to me, that was such anxiety because I'm from New York where you can't even get a pew pew if you wanted to. But to see that in Texas, to see all of them just laid out on the table and people are picking them up and testing them out. And I'm like, why are they allowing this? So, yes, you can get a pew pew before you can get marijuana in Texas.
But that's how it is here, too. There's a lot of it. Thank you, Tommy. You go to flea markets around here as well, and people are selling the pew pews, and they're everywhere. But marijuana is not legal,
which I think is ridiculous.
But like Tommy said, give me 1 second, please.
Yeah, so while she's going, it's easy to find them. Like Finding Balance says, you get them in storage units all the time. Here, I can just get them at walking up to a street fair. They're really not supposed to do it on Facebook, but a lot of times, even on Facebook locally, they'll show a picture of a pen, and right next to the pen, they'll show a pew pew, and they'll be like, selling the pen for $500. And that's like totally normal here on the Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Real quick, like I was saying, Jasmine's making me some tea. What was I? Oh, but by the end of the year, from what Tommy's research and stuff and what we've seen, it should be legal by the end of this year. And I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping they do it soon because you'll see a whole different side of me.
I'm hoping. I don't think Texas will ever legalize it completely. I really don't. But very rare burnt piece of pepperoni. I love that. That's what they do.
I'm like way far behind. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
I do remember several years back that they did shut down quite a few liquids. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Medical is legal. I not worked in 2 years. Yeah, she's been fighting this with her leg and everything and her health for 2 years now. Oh. It is crazy. I wanted to jump on a plane and go. Me and Tommy were going to go on a plane to Florida or drive to Florida and chew out some doctors. Let me tell you. But my cousins had her back, and I made sure my voice was heard when I was talking to her on video chat. We love our auntie, and they love their mom, so they're waiting to make it recreational. See, in Minnesota, Illinois, and Michigan, it is legal for recreational up to a certain amount and for medical. So we're just the only state around us that's not. And I think Iowa and Indiana, but I don't know about those two for sure. I just know that the main states that are around us are. So It's like that here at the flea markets, the pew pews. I mean, you can get them. It's crazy. I get them in storage units all the time. Yeah, it's people collect them, and it just. I need some pew pews. I have a World War II pew pew. Love that. It's a collector's first Beretta Imperial Army edition. I love it. It's my baby. Collectors. And I got it for 3 bottle rockets. Remind me, I'll have to show you, Mel. Not gonna do that here.
No, we can't. No pew pews here. It was bad enough I said the G word. So be careful.
A very rare burnt piece of pepperoni, only $800.
That was in reference while you were getting your tea. I said that here on Facebook they'll show like a picture of a pen with a pew pew next to it and say selling a pen for $500. So
Well,
selling
if that works, wow, that's pretty cool.
it does
That's
work.
a loophole.
That is the loophole.
I have a nice gray pen marker.
Yeah, like
You
600.
earned it. $1,000.
Tommy said it correct. It's not legal here, but it's decriminalized under an ounce. Same thing in Texas. You can have an ounce, and they'll just give you like a written warning or
As
something.
long as it's all in one bag.
Bag.
That's
Yeah.
the key word here. All in one bag, not individual bags. All in one bag.
Because then they're going to think that you are selling. Yeah.
Got any cheap pepperoni? Not right now. I'm bored with my EDC.
EDC.
Yeah.
I know what EDC is.
Okay, so it's an Imperial Army issued 380. It's a nice. I don't know how to say the words very well, or the numbers, but it's beauty. It is a beauty, and I got it fair and square.
There you go.
3 bottle rockets. Like, who does that? Me. Why? Because I thought I could, and I did.
We are wishing her a speedy recovery. Right now, the daughter's in the hospital, which is why he's in Dallas. Haven't done any units for a while. Hopefully going home by next week and can start buying again.
Oh, wow. That's... Yes. Sending lots and lots of love.
Yeah, wishing speedy recovery. Lots of positive energy.
Heck yeah. And it sounds like she's doing great. So that's awesome to hear. Very awesome to hear. JC, email me. I'll send you pics. My email is right there. Right there.
You've got your tea.
I got my tea. Thank you, baby girl. It's in my Dunkin' Donut cup. Look at how old that bad boy is.
Yeah, that was going back a while.
And it's orange.
Remember the time to make the donuts guy? Time to make the donuts.
That's my favorite one.
He was the same guy that did the sour cream, not thick enough.
The Daisy sour cream or
whatever sour cream it was, where they would keep, I don't even remember what sour cream, but he's like, not thick enough. And he's like, how about now? Not thick enough.
I don't remember that one. I just remember the donuts one.
Time to make the donut. And I don't even remember his name. Now I gotta look that up because that's gonna bother me. The Dunkin' Donuts dude and the sour cream. And I think it wasn't Daisy sour cream, it was a different sour cream.
Daisy's the cow now, right? Tommy, is Daisy the cow now?
Sour cream. Let me see who I can.
I'll have to find a nice. Right?
I think I should look that up.
You're a pirate. JC is a pirate. Arr. Zip code 308.
Why isn't this coming up? Okay, is this the Mandela effect that I'm completely forgetting? Like, nobody knows what I'm talking about. Dunkin' Donuts.
It was probably when I was young, and yeah, we don't remember everything that happened when I was young. No, I remember a lot, but not a lot. Love watching the old 80s commercials on YouTube. Yes, Tommy.
Okay, Michael Vale is his name. That's what it was. Michael Vale was his name. Look up what he did with the sour cream, because I know he did sour cream too.
You got mail. LOL. We are AOL.
Breakstone. That's what it was. Breakstones. We were supposed to be here another 2 weeks, and he's saying as early as Friday or maybe early next week. That's good. Sending her home early. She's recovering well, but was put on a traction device for scoliosis.
Oh,
You're
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing about that. I got my mail, JC.
What did he send you?
He says, "Can I say it? Can I say it, JC?"
Hello, Spirit Junkie. Welcome to the show.
Spirit Junkie, you're gonna crack up. Let me know, JC, if I can read the title of the email.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's like, oh, yeah. Gots to see you, pepperoni. Laughing my ass.
Pepperoni.
Oh, the pepperoni. Okay. Sorry about that, James.
We're all going to be talking about pepperoni now.
Yep, that's how we're going to refer it. Okay, that one we read. I want to catch up and give my full attention. She is recovering really well. She's put on a traction device
for scoliosis. And her doctor is one of the top pediatric scoliosis doctors in the country.
Oh, wow.
That could be painful. I was put in traction to stretch out my spine, and it was painful.
Tommy asked when Tommy was going through physical therapy, he asked, okay, I got to shut this off for a minute because it's making me choppy. He actually asked his physical therapist if he could put him in the medieval times torture device. And I guess he looked at him and was like, I wasn't there when he did it, but he was telling us that he was like, the what? And he's like, the stretching machine. I need something that, stretches me. And he's like, we got a machine for that. And now we have one right here so that he can go on and flip upside down and it stretches. Is that what it is like that? James?
I mean, the one that I went wasn't an upside down one, but it was a stretching type one where it marched my back. But I wasn't upside down
here or whatever, and then stretch, and then there's like on your hips or something. Yeah, Tommy loved that. He looked forward to going to physical therapy because that's what he told us that he wanted, and that's what he got.
And yeah, Spirit, we did start at 8 Eastern. Well, I'm sorry, it was 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. We've been on for 2.5 hours right now.
Oh, wow. Oh, and Kelly's phone is being silly. Next week we will be on at 7 p.m. Central. As long as everything goes okay, it might end up being a little later. Just all depends. But as of right now, we do have it scheduled for 7. We do have a bunch of doctor's appointments coming up, both of us. So if we don't have the doctor's appointments, then we'll be at 7. If we do have doctor's appointments, then it'll be 7:30. If that makes sense. That way we can adjust to that. I love the old Heinz ketchup commercials.
The secret for that is hit the 57. Heinz ketchup with the bottles. And the Bud Frogs!
Budweiser, yes. I was trying to think of the ketchup one because I've seen so many darn commercials because that's what Tommy and Jazz.
Honestly, I don't remember the ketchup one, but I definitely remember the Bud Frogs.
Budweiser.
All I know is with Heinz ketchup, you know how you initially shake it and it doesn't come out? The trick is just hold the bottle, hit the 57, it comes globbing out. It's the weirdest thing. I've never seen anything like that. But that is the trick.
Shooting it across the darn table.
No, but it works perfect. I'm telling you. And we're talking about the glass bottles. We're not talking about the plastic ones. But if you have an original glass bottle, you turn it upside down, hit that 57 that's right on the side because it's etched in the glass, and it'll just pour right out nice and easy. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. I think the Budweiser frogs, between the Budweiser frogs and the bullfrogs from when I was growing up in Florida, And then when we moved to Wisconsin, I would hear them and I'd always think of Florida. Um, I think that's why I love frogs so much. My garden and my flower areas, they have a lot. I have a lot of frogs. So
Froggy.
frogs. Um, uh, Hers is a halo. It's screwed into her skull and attached to a counterweight on her wheelchair.
Oh,
Oh,
that's traction. Ooh, yeah, that does sound painful.
that sounds very painful.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we hope she's feeling better.
as long as she's not in so much, any pain doing it. That's awesome to hear. But that really, I thought you were we were Mondays. Spirit Junkie. We switched it to Tuesdays. It's just easier because Mondays are even more hectic normally. And so we switched it to Tuesdays. So we're here on my channel on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, we are on Melanie's channel for the paranormal. Mine is the mental health. We should intertwine those sometime because there's series on that. But no.
Good night, Kelly. And it was great to meet you. I hope you feel much better. Kelly's going to take her meds and disappear.
Okay, I love you, Aunt Kelly. When you are feeling better, hit me up. Just message me and let me know when you're feeling good. And you can video chat so I can see you and make sure you're okay. I got to hear your voice. So, but you know how I am. I'm spoiled. She spoils me. Even though she yells at me too. But I love my auntie. Getting channel set up to hopefully start back up, not next week, but the fall. Cool, JC. I think that came out wrong, but I was trying to say JC. Awesome. Yeah, let me know. And that way we can kind of coordinate as well. Best things come to those who wait. Exactly.
Wait, was that the Heinz? No, wait, wasn't that A1? Or was that Heinz?
I think it was Heinz.
That's the best thing. I don't know why I'm thinking A1 steak sauce.
I like A1, but I like the what is that? Thicken something. We have it in the fridge and I can't think of what it's called now, but it's the thicker of the A1s.
No, it is Heinz. 1980. It's the best game. No other ketchup.
Thick and hearty. Thank you, honey. Did you hear it through the floor?
You heard it, thick and hearty. No, it was. Okay. All right. So that's the point. Best things come to those who wait because you're emptying it and it's taking so long for the. But if you hit the 57, it's perfect.
That's the thing. I get so they watch a lot of commercial type things on YouTube, especially the 80s commercials. Some of them I don't remember, some I do vaguely remember. However, I get them all confused. Like for some reason they intertwine for me and I don't know why it happens like that. JC says good night, Aunt Kelly. Hope you feel better, sweetie. Even though you guys have wrote her full name or tagged her full name, I always use Aunt Kelly because she's my aunt and it's really hard for me just to say her name. So, and it's the same with my mom or any of my aunts or my cousins or anything. I always put like aunt, cousin, grandma. It's just really hard personally for me, maybe because of the way I was raised. I'm not sure, but it's just Southern, probably. It's probably a lot to do with being Southern. And Aunt Kelly says, thank you all.
Feel better. Have a good night.
She's actually loving it. She is in less pain than she was. We actually have reduced her pain meds since being. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Very positive. Very, very positive. That is awesome. I'll remember eventually.
That we're Tuesday, not Monday.
Make sure you hit the all button.
Well, we
in the
appreciate your
subscribe,
share,
and you
Spirit.
can get all our notifications.
And we'll be on again on Thursday.
Yep.
The only thing is that we might
7
chat.
Central, 8 Eastern on Melanie's channel, which is pinned at the top of the chat here. Both are welcome on the panel. Thank you, JC. So we have been invited officially to his panel.
Yay.
And I messed this up before. Sharon, not good at saying the first part because it sounds kind of weird to me, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, and I don't want to butcher it. She is his co-host.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, and she was in here, and I think she's still in here, but I'm not sure if she's still in here. But she was in here before. Spirit Junkie says, I'm subbed. Awesome. That's for you, JC. She gets upset when we take her off the traction. Oh, I'm pretty sure if it's helping her that much, I'm sure that I think I'd be upset too if that was happening. JC says, thank you, Spirit. Spirit says, my mom was on traction for 2 months in the 80s. Ooh.
I want to say it was much different back then.
Yeah,
it was a torture then.
See, and I can't do it. That stretchy machine thing, the torture chamber thing, because of my hip.
They used it on me after I had a car accident, and I just remember how much pain I was in.
Yeah, my vertebrae above my spine, the left side's fused to my pelvis, so it hurts very bad for me to be in any of those type of machines. So, preemie. JC says, I don't blame her. Yep, I'm subscribed. I have a traction machine here I was given by the doctor. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Do you like it, JC? Tommy says, I love my inversion table, but we have no space for it. That's why it's down here. Because it is. It's
big.
Yeah, it's big. But when he uses it, you can see the relief on his face, and
I have high blood pressure issues, so I cannot be upside down because all the blood will rush to my head and it gets me nauseous. That's why I can't even go on like roller coasters or anything like that.
Yeah. I can't use it at all because of the way my spine and my pelvis is. So it was actually a good thing that I had C-sections with both my kids, and because of that birth defect, the vertebrae above my pelvis, my son got stuck when I was trying to give birth to him. And so, yeah, his head was big. He had a big head. He was a big baby, but my hips didn't open correctly. So that's why I had a C-section. He got stuck. So after 72 hours of flipping labor, that was not fun. She will be on it for about 2 years. Then we'll do a spinal fusion surgery. She was born with the scoliosis, though. She has 4 extra half-formed vertebrae that caused it. Oh, wow. Now here's a question. Now, a lot of times they say if you have extra like vertebrae or extra things in your body, was she a twin by chance? Because a lot of times people have the extra body pieces in them or vertebrae or bones because the twins merged and became one. Does that make sense? So I'm just curious, or if it was just something that happened without being a twin. I'm just curious because I think that's very interesting when somebody is born with extra vertebrae or extra, other body parts. Um, so, and sometimes other times it's too painful. Yup. It hurts me.
Yeah.
The inversion table, those things, they just.
Yeah, I can't do an inversion.
I have a teeter inversion table. Helps so much when nerve is pinched. Yeah, I think that's what Tommy's does too. That's the one, Spirit Junkie, where you get in it and you strap your ankles down and then you flip yourself so you're upside down. Because that's how Tommy's is. I think that's what his is too.
I would be afraid of getting stuck upside down and not able to flip myself back up.
Tommy has done that. We've had to help him.
I would totally, that would be me getting afraid.
But so I have tried it a couple different times, but because of it hurts too much. So, but I've gotten myself stuck too. So, especially the very first time, because it was right. We got it. I don't remember when we got it. I don't remember where I got it, but or when we got it. We got it here in town, and he got it really cheap. But yeah, I got stuck because my stomach muscles were not the greatest. Would like to try the inversion table, but have always stayed away because of my vertigo.
It would get worse with vertigo.
Yeah, you would have to ask Tommy about that. Because I'm not sure.
I think you would get worse for vertigo because I had a bad bout of vertigo for about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And being upside down, no.
Yeah.
But that was I had a severe ear infection. Yeah, I started getting vertigo out of nowhere, and it ended up being a very severe ear infection, and that's what was affecting my balance.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Spirit Junkie says, well, I give people with acute or chronic pain credit. Yep, pain is hard to deal with mentally and emotionally, in my opinion. I have nerve issues, but I'm mostly able to deal with it. Yeah, exactly. I do too. I'm with you right there too. Vertigo is almost gone though.
That's good.
No, hers stems from the brain malformation. The hope causes a lot of deformities, and most of hers were okay. You just have to tip yourself up and down slowly. It's funny seeing him in that thing, and I'm sure it was funny seeing me in that thing. But it is. It's crazy. Have dealt with the vertigo for almost 15 years now. Ooh.
That's really tough.
Several of her organs were misformed. Her spine misformed. She had a cleft palate, and she had stunted growth. At 10, she only weighs 30 pounds.
Oh my God. Wow. She's tiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that she is. But she's adorable. I've seen her. She's adorable.
We're so glad that she's doing better, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really hoping you guys are able to go home and next week, maybe even sooner if possible. JC says, "Wow, right? It's crazy."
Yeah.
But it's a good crazy. Very good crazy. All right, one more time. Let's talk about this quote for the week. There is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. John Green. Love that quote. Make sure you write it down. Make sure you think about it this week when, if anything is trying to bring you down. Wishing for nothing but miracles and improvement. Right on, JC. We got you. We got you there, James. Thank
she
you
needs a little help put back there.
Yep. See, even Miss Hope came up to show some love.
Well, you know what it is? She gets unsure jumping from the table onto the chair, so it's like I got to give her help. There, you could go back. She tried to tell me it's bedtime. That's what it is.
Yeah, we've been on for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Definitely
That's
did
great.
not expect to be on this long. We appreciate everybody who was in our chat this evening. We
This
appreciate
was a great
everybody
discussion.
who shared. He's got an April Fool's
Oh, kitty! That's so cute.
April Fool's. My daughter got me with that stinky spray stuff.
Right?
What in the heck is it called, Tommy?
But the silly string, or are you talking about fruit spray?
Thanks. Yeah, the silly spray or the where you spray
Yeah,
or hit the button and it sprays out all over you.
that's silly string.
Yeah, it stinks. It was gross. And Tommy recorded it and it's not being put up because nope.
Oh, come on, it's fun.
No, they needed to warn me because of how I was looking. So no.
Aw. Thank you, Finding Space. We'll be on Thursday speaking about the solar eclipse. And let me tell you something. There is a lot of weird information happening with this eclipse. So if you haven't heard of the weird stuff, we're going to share it with you what's going on. She had some cheesecake and we sang happy birthday after her chicken nuggets and pork knuckle. That sounds so good.
Got a spoiled kitty.
Aww. She was a happy kitty.
Thomas, it better not be up.
He said it's already up. Uh-oh. Somebody's going to have a fight tonight.
I asked you not to.
Uh-oh.
I hope you're messing with me.
Hopefully it's an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. You better be messing with me.
This is going to murder Tommy right now, so we have to get going.
She spoiled. Yeah, our bird and stuff is.
I think he's talking about the kitty cat.
Our birds are spoiled. Very spoiled. They get treats all the time. They eat at the same time we do, stuff like that. JC said, Tommy, you need to get that dispensary, brother. I'm really hoping he's messing with me.
Tommy, take it down before she looks. Take it down.
Anyway, so the link for Melanie's channel is for our show on Thursday is pinned at the top of the comment.
It'll be a good one because I'm excited about this one. There's a lot of information about this eclipse.
I'm excited to hear, and I have to drive during the eclipse, so this should be interesting. Even though Wisconsin's not getting fully hit with the eclipse, it will be interesting to see what happens.
I can't even tell you. Well, I will talk about it, but Texas is losing their mind.
Oh, really?
They are losing their mind at all the preparations that they're making for this eclipse.
Yeah, I know they're telling people to stock up on food and water. Oh, well, I'm actually going to be with my mom, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. She's going to a doctor's appointment, but if I can sneak in recording something, I definitely will.
Yeah, we're right in the path of the crazy. Dallas is getting hit. Yeah, Dallas is getting the complete blackout. So.
Yeah, see, they keep telling people to make sure you stock up on water, food, this and that, and I don't know. I never really paid attention to now, but now I gotta go and pay attention to it and see.
Pay attention to it. I mean, it is
Do
crazy.
you have the outline for it?
I didn't make an outline yet, but I'll make an outline.
Okay.
It'll be late.
Well, Florida is not in the direct path of it, so you might be all right. The crazies are already down there.
I'll make an outline, and your mind will be blown away.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the outline we had for Easter. If you didn't join us for our Easter live Sunday, make sure you go, when you go and bookmark our show for Thursday, that you check out our Easter and all our past shows that we've done.
Finding Balance about the projecting thunderstorms. I just want to make a quick correlation for people who are noticing thunderstorms. This is just a question. I'm not saying anything. I'm not implying anything. But just check if you start seeing jets with the trails behind. That's all I have to say.
Oh, before?
So like 2 days beforehand.
So yeah, my mom's really into that.
Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, everybody just look up, see if you're going to see a lot of jets passing by with the smoke coming out behind. There's a certain term for it.
What do they call that?
They call them chemtrails, but we're not supposed to say that word. That's another word that YouTube doesn't like. So,
oops.
I know PlaySpace says that's always here. All the chemtrails. But generally speaking, if you normally don't see chemtrails, watch what happens 2 to 3 days later after you start seeing a lot of chemtrails. Like, just look at your weather. That's all I have to say.
We have, we get a lot of those, and then our weather gets all weird.
Of course, yes. There's an interesting correlation, but I mean, there's more to it. So, if you're already getting too much rain, you probably already had the trails the other day.
We have that weird winter thing going on right now for us, where we had this bizarre little hail with the big globs of snowflakes. Like it looked like a baseball next to a little.
And if you were like
down at the same time,
if you were nerdy, I would have absolutely taken both of them and examine them under a microscope or something to see what it looks like between the hail and the
actual snowflake.
Yes, I would love to see what the difference is and what it looked like, because for it to be that globby, I don't think it was water that was dropping.
I don't know. Our duck came running at me, and we actually brought her in.
Even the duck knew I'm not staying out here.
Yeah, and usually we don't bring her in for that, but she got to be in the tub, and she had a good time, and swimming around in the bathtub, cleaning up, and but yeah, she did. I opened that door, and she come a hauling booty, and I can't pick her up, so Jaslyn picked her up. I was like, Jaslyn, can you come get her? She wants to come in. She couldn't get up on the steps to get in, and so we brought her in, and she went into the tub and cleaned herself up real good, and nasty water after she was done. I had to scrub the tub, but she got to swim around and hang out in the bathtub. And
do you think the paints are dropping something on us? Paints.
The sky is falling. The sky
is falling. Oh, the painters.
Oh, maybe.
The painters. The sky is falling.
Oh geez, we're all gonna have to switch to Mighty Networks or something. Big Brother.
Yep.
It's all right.
Well, like I said, we have to be careful with what we say, because certain words YouTube doesn't like. Oh, the flat Earth painters.
That's too funny.
It's one big hologram. It's not even painters. It's a hologram. It's nothing but a blue screen, and they put the sun and the moon and all that other stuff. I still want to. Okay, I know we shouldn't be talking about this, but I just want to know, when did the sun turn white? It was yellow my whole life, and now you look at the sun is white.
Um, I don't know. I'm shade colorblind, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm telling you, me growing up, the sun was always yellow. You would always color it yellow. It was always yellow. Now the sun is completely white.
Well, we are having a lot of
Switched light
solar
bulbs.
flares. There is a lot of solar flares. So northern lights are going crazy right now, and maybe that's what's the difference. When we were younger, there wasn't a whole lot of solar flares that were happening. Now,
My eyes were older.
yeah, we're older and we see color differently, and I'm sure there's a lot of reasons.
There probably is. It's one of those Mandela things. I start talking about things and people are like, that's not true. I'm like, I remember things differently.
JC says Florida sun is still yellow.
Texas sun is white. I'm telling you. I was driving the other day and it was white as anything. And I'm like, why is
Well,
the sun?
maybe it looks white because it's so bright and your eyes can't register exactly what color it is other than bright. So maybe it looks white.
No, they changed the light bulb in the sun.
But
They
they're
went
like
to,
bringing
they
out
went-
new ones.
they went to the new LED light bulbs.
That's right. You know how back in the day we had those dingy yellow colored light bulbs? Well,
Yes.
now we have the daylight bulbs that are really bright. Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yes. I'm telling
Light bulb.
you. If it's the angle in the spring, it could be. It could really be.
It's
Hey,
8,500.
We still need to figure out the glitter conspiracy. So if anybody wants to know about the glitter conspiracy, look up glitter conspiracy. Oh, I can't say that word.
I don't care if you say that word on my channel.
Glitter. What is
Glitter.
what is
I know
up
it
with
shows
glitter?
up when you don't have none. Tommy says it's my little fairy friends dropping off their magic.
No, there was a shortage of glitter, and there's this whole conspiracy about how they make glitter and what glitter is actually used for.
They ground up fairies. It's their
They
pixie
probably-
dust.
I'm wondering if they ground up dead people.
Ew! No.
Who knows?
I don't know. We don't have glitter in our house, and somehow mysteriously, Tommy ends up with glitter on him.
There's strange stuff going on. Wait till she sees what goes on over on my channel.
I have blue lights right now, but these do turn, and I have a bunch of these. These do turn many different colors, and they do daytime, and they do the like off-white, and like these are awesome, and they're controlled through an app on my phone.
See, that's what I need to do for our spooky show. I'm going to bring out the blue lights.
Oh,
Yes.
put them in the ceiling.
Well, I
or
have
light
the little ball to light up. So,
Yeah.
see, spirit is being scientific. Perceiving light and such depends on the incident and reflected light. That's the correct answer. But I'll still say that they changed the light bulb on the sun because the sun is no longer yellow. It is now white.
Mine are called, okay, let me pull it up. The app that we use for my light bulbs, and I have 8 of them, is called Treat Life, and they go through the network in our house, and I love them. When I move upstairs, I'm actually going to be taking this light here with me upstairs, and then Tommy also has 2 light stands that he's not using, and if we can figure out how to set them up, those are going to be also, so they're all going to be controlled so that when I do my lives upstairs in the office, because we're flip-flopping areas, my green is really going to be green, my blue is really going to be blue, and white and everything like that. It's going to be like wickedly badass, people.
That's cool.
Yep. And so I'll have a different background and stuff like that. But that's my idea in my head. And if I'm not able to use the big stands for the light stands, then I'm going to go buy some and put some up, how I can set it up and stuff like that. So but I love them. Okay. Yep. He knows. I'm a scientist by nature. There's usually an explanation. Yes, for sure. Everything has an explanation, a reasonable explanation. It's just some of us are goofy.
Just because I say some crazy things does not mean I necessarily believe in it. I'm just giving other opinions and other thoughts that are out there. Some of them are really out there.
Yeah, a lot of them are out there. It's so crazy. JC says, that tech side in me, LO and Tommy. Yep, and that's why, what I have in my head, like I've tried explaining it to Tommy, and I think he has the basic idea of what I'm looking for when I set up my room upstairs, the office upstairs. And he's pretty good at it, even with the short, choppy sentences and ideas that I have. He's pretty good at piecing it all together to make it work. So with these light bulbs being through our network, our smart device, I love it. I can't wait. I'm excited. It's going to hopefully turn out great. Then I'm going to experiment with it and see how it goes. And yeah. I don't trust the smart devices, just my opinion. Yeah, mine is just through our network, our router. So
I almost had Spirit Junkie though. Like her next statement. Everything listens out.
Yeah, JC's right. Everything does listen. I mean, you have a cell phone with you, then it's hearing everything you're saying anyway. So either embrace it or get rid of the phone. And yeah, we just too much, we rely on it too much. Yes. But at the same time, it makes things a lot easier.
See, I wasn't trying to sway anybody, but the more you dig into it, the more you're going to believe in the flat earth model. The more digging you do, I'm telling you, if you really do your research, it's going to make you wonder, like, wait a minute.
So me personally, I do not believe in the flat earth theory. Especially, I mean, I do believe, and we'll get into this topic in a different time. I do believe that there are other planets with life on it. I do believe we have aliens. I do believe they exist. But when I have spent a lot of time of my life looking through telescopes at planets, my dad has tons of, high-tech stuff that you can look up. My mom wanted to be an astronaut when she was growing up, but back then that wasn't something women were allowed to do. However, my grandfather also helped build the stands for the space shuttles that would go up into space. We have another friend who is a rocket scientist. But looking through a telescope at a planet, to me, it's round. Those planets are round. We are not the only planet that would be flat if that was the case. So I believe that what we see in pictures and on video and stuff like that, me personally, that's what I believe it is. I think it's round. I do not believe that the earth is flat.
Here's just a quick question. Just a quick question. I'm just going to show you something. And I'm using a bad example. You see a planet up in the sky, correct?
Mm-hmm. It's circle.
It's circle. But what happens if you turn the angle? It's still a circle.
It's still a circle, but not flat. I think it's like a ball.
It can be flat. He could be circular and flat at the same time.
That
I know
is
we're not
true.
We're,
But
we are
we're not
totally
eating
not getting,
junior mints here, woman.
we're not getting into this discussion tonight. This we're
Right.
saving for
So,
solar
maybe
eclipse
something
on
like
Thursday.
JC says my whole house is smart. I gave up the privacy years ago. Yeah,
That's what you're gonna do. Yeah.
I'll do everything to avoid smart devices.
They already have your information anyway. Even people who avoid it, it's like because you have a cell phone, that's the worst of them all.
Yeah, a flip phone, it doesn't matter. They have your information. They can hear everything. Back when they were trying to do those converter box things, there was cameras in a lot of them. So I mean, shaking head sideways.
Get over it. Oh, I think
is amazing. Yes. Contact, my favorite movie about possibilities. I see Elon rocket several times a week, and it doesn't go straight up and down. Oh yeah, the Starlink. We have people. So we have the site. It's called Strange Wisconsin, and every week somebody is posting Starlink's satellites going, does anybody know what this is? Yes, this picture was last week as well, different location, but the same picture. It's not aliens, it is satellites for Starlink. And
it's
it's
is it attached with balloons?
What's that?
Is there balloons attached to it?
I don't know. They're dark. It's at night when people are seeing it. So,
all right.
I'm all about looking at things differently, but some perspectives are just off. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be open-minded. You gotta understand that everybody has their own beliefs, and
some of them are just so wacky. I just heard one recently that I'm like, what? But it makes you think. Because the one recently is about the New York City subway system. Because how did they make the subway system so quickly? And the thing is, they're trying to say that the subway system is actually the blood vessels of giants.
I do not want to smoke with them. People are smoking. Think about
that. If you have a giant and you're going through the blood vessels, that's where they're saying the New York City subway system comes, is that it's one
that is going on the list.
Hey, just because I said it does not mean I believe it. But that's one of them that's like, what?
The mental health is strong in that one. And not our form of mental health. It's a different form. I'm not supposed to go straight up and down. I agree. Although the cat hates me. Our whole house shakes and she flips out. Yeah. Our cat too. Our cat's been acting really weird too the last.
Because of the eclipse, that the animals know something up is coming up. That's what's gonna happen.
I agree. That word right there about the veins and yeah, giants.
Hey, baby.
But at the same time, people are gonna believe what they want. Now I want some steamed veggies. LOL. Ho ho ho. Green diet. His voice changed, just so you know. They changed the person that does his voice, and I don't like that one. It's too soft now. It used to be
ho ho ho. Green diet.
Yeah, it used to be deeper, and now it's like not. So
that's like with Mr. Clean, what they did to him. I'm like, what happened to Mr. Clean? He used to
people say weird things, yes. Ours is because of rockets launching. LOL. Okay, so exactly. So ours is because of rockets launching. Yep. See, and when our house shakes, it's because of a train. But I can just imagine how. Well, when I lived in Florida, my grandfather lived near the airport in Orlando. Like it was a hop, skip, and a jump through his backyard. And when I was young, when the only way I could fall asleep is if when the planes would take off. That was a soothing thing for me. Yeah, and then when we went to Chicago for some eBay or some reselling meetup thing that they had, and I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, Ecom Chicago or something like that. We were by the airport, and I actually slept really well when the planes were taking off. Um, the trains, so like when the train goes by, we were like, oh crap, we're living by a train. However, we've been in this house for a very long time, almost 10 years, if not 10 years now. And if the train is late, we know. Because when the train goes by, our bed, like our house shakes, but our bed vibrates. Like it's vibrating. It's really weird. But it's at the same time every night. So if we don't feel that vibration in our bed, then we know the train is late. And we're like, what's going on with the train? It's kind of weird. But I bet you it's so cool being at least close enough to have the rockets when they're launching. I remember when I was younger, the space shuttle that went up with the school teacher.
The Challengers.
Yeah. Yep, I remember standing in a field across the street from our house, watching it as it went up.
I should show you that video about
we were in Brooks
brothers and sisters. I got a video to show you about the brothers and sisters of the Challenger people.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it as live outside when it was going up, because where we were standing, if you looked past the two houses, our house and the house next door, you had a beautiful view of when it would go up. And we lived in Brooksville, and so that's quite a ways from there, but you could see it. And then I didn't know, I was young and didn't know that when it went boom, that's what that was. I just thought it was cool, and I didn't realize that that's what had happened when it happened, but I saw it live. That was weird. So they launched some 100 odd Elon satellites just in the last year. I hate all the satellites. The technology is cool, but seems like a lot of space junk would be dangerous to future.
Well, here's a question, and this is a perfect question for those who have telescopes, being that you mentioned you used to look through the telescopes. Mm-hmm. How often do you guys see satellites? With as many satellites as they're supposed to be up there, have you ever seen a satellite through a telescope?
I think I have, but I'm not 100%.
I will tell you this. Anybody that I question, as far as amateur astronomers or anything like that, when I say to them, have you ever seen a satellite through the answer will be no. They've never seen it. And that doesn't make sense, particularly when you look at how many satellites are actually supposed to be out there. So
a long time, I think it's supposed to be a long time ago, a teacher taught me, don't believe everything you think. Your mind can come up with a lot of weird things that don't make sense. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I have 3 of the NASA patches from that. Okay. Yep. That's wild.
The supposed theory is that the rocket exploded, but they weren't inside. That's the supposed theory. And there's a very interesting history involving the brother and sisters of the people of the Challenger. That's the only reason I've mentioned that. And there's a video on it, so I could show you the video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
JC, my grandpa, my mom's dad, used to build the launch, the thing that the rockets would sit on. And then they would have to wait 3 days till it cooled off, because it took 3 days after it went up to cool down, and they would tear it down. So he was the construction crew, I guess is what you would call it, to build and disassemble the rocket pads. That's what one of my grandpa's jobs. My mom worked with Governor back then. They are too small unless it's a very, very powerful one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The telescopes. Yeah. I know that there's like apps, like on the iPhone, there's an app that you can get, and it's to look at the night sky, and you can turn on all this stuff, and you can actually see like the northern lights. You can see, I actually have a bunch of pictures. Actually, let me show you.
Do you have that app right now, or you don't? On your phone?
I do not. Tommy does.
Okay. Have him take a look at where the position of the moon is compared to the sun, because that's what a lot of people are having issues with.
Okay. So this picture here that I've taken, this is with that app. This is all the different things you can see through this app. Now, I have, fire department's going out. Prayers to anybody who's involved in why the fire department's going out right now. But this right here is what the sky looks like outside of the noise pollution. And every summer I'll be getting new pictures this summer out at the campground. That's where we camp and stuff like that. But I can do constellations. I can do, let me see here. Stop sharing. Let me find my folder. Oop. Let me move it over here.
And Spirit, just clarify, what did you want me to show you on the Eclipse Talk? If you don't mind. Because I know I was addressing a whole bunch of things, so I just want to know what you meant about show us on the Eclipse Talk.
Yeah, my grandfather in Florida actually, the steel company that he worked for, I don't know exactly what it was called. He was actually sought after. He was highly sought after because he was a phenomenal welder. So he helped build Disney in Orlando. He did the space shuttle build up and tear down of that. He's done a lot of things in his life. So the video show, okay. In the 60s, yeah, my grandfather, 60s and 70s, he was in the Navy as well. Let me get this over here. Oh, come on. Get over here.
Let's see if I can find it real quick. If not, I'll give it to you guys now to look at it later.
Yeah, she's going to do that. So these are pictures that I've taken with this app while we were camping. And then see, it shows you where what the constellations are as well. But and poor Tommy's phone. I don't have an iPhone. I'm not real big about iPhone, but this app I do love. And then you can take the constellations out and look at all the stars, planets, stuff like that. And then what's cool too is this was as the sun was setting.
That's nice. These are beautiful shots.
And then this is the moon. That's a planet. That's actually a planet.
Did you get an opportunity? Because I think it was just a couple of days ago, they were able to see the Northern Lights. Were you able to see it?
I did not. I actually, it was cloudy here, so we weren't able to the whole time. So yeah, all constellations, you can pay for it or you don't have to, but this is what you get. And there's so many different things on the app that you can do. Orion. And then this is looking down. So with this app, you can look down and you can see, like, it shows Mercury, Mars, but it shows you all the stuff on the other side of the world as well. But I love Northern Lights, and so, and I love constellations, stuff like that. And then here's like a Viking ship, which I still got to look up because I don't know much about this one. So I don't know the constellation story on that one.
Saturn, Capricorn.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I have a ton of different pictures and stuff. Then there's a fish one, the Pisces constellation. It's kind of funny.
See, that's one of the reasons that I said if Tommy has the app, take a look at the position of the moon and the sun, because one of the arguments, well, we're going to discuss this on Thursday, is that where the sun and moon are currently should not cause an eclipse on Monday.
Okay.
So it's an interesting little thing, but being you have the app, it's a curious little phenomenon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I might have to steal his phone for a little bit.
And check out where the position of the sun and the moon are.
Yeah. The video of the Space Shuttle Brothers. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you a bunch of links for that, and I'll do it on Thursday. But if you want to look it up yourself, just look up the conspiracy of the channel of the Challenger.
Okay, so JC says I have the video of the Artemis. Yeah, launch from our front yard over on my channel. Okay. I gotta go in there and bring your channel up. All right. Okay, we are going on 3.5 hours, so I think we're gonna have to end it here.
Good place.
Yeah, if you want watch it, remember it is 2 a.m. and we have no street lights. All right, sounds good. Okay, again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. We have been on for 3.5 hours. Our emails are right below us if you need to reach out and talk to us about anything. JC, I will get those pictures sent to you, but it'll probably be tomorrow. And then thank you everybody who joined us today. We will see you again Thursday on Melody's channel with the pinned link at the top of our chat. With that, have a beautiful night. Have a wonderful week. And remember, there is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. John Green. With that, much love. Have a great night, and we will catch you on the next one.
Have a good one, guys.